First stop to the next stop. Covering all your sports info. You step in and stand clear. Let's go. You got Super Dave, Coach Kirk, and Todd the Magnificent.
You're now tuned into Bars and Hoops Radio, where the world of hip hop and sports live.
All right, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Better late than never. We are live. It is Super Dave along with Coach Kurt.
What do you know?
Surge, the sports star.
What's happening?
Slick the Relic.
The living fossil.
G Money in the building.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Shout out to Tiny, our saving grace, in the building with us.
Again.
All right. All right, so Todd is out and Todd is somewhere. Neil is somewhere. But we got a full house. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Today is July 7th. It's a Monday. We're in New York City. It's about 89, 90 degrees. We're live in full effect. We're going to do some sports from here until like 6:30. What's going on, Coach Kurt? Talk about it right quick.
Just coming off the July 4th weekend, barbecue, chilling at home with the family and friends on Friday. So I had a good time. All is well.
I think it was a barbecue every day from Thursday until Surge. Today's Monday. Okay, we didn't have one today, but Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's a lot. All right, yeah. Surge, what's going on?
You went to all the barbecues. I didn't.
Okay. Well, I showed up.
All right, chilling. It is what it is.
All right, I got you covered. I don't think I went to none of yours, though, but anyway. Slick the Relic.
Yeah, so like you said, the barbecues was every day. The fireworks was 3 days ahead of schedule.
Oh my God!
Around my way.
Yeah.
So. And 2 days after that.
I'm sort of dating myself, but back in the 80s when I was selling fireworks, I can't remember.
Yeah, you dating yourself, man.
Listen, yo was buying.
Yeah, you had every job, yo. What's going on?
Wow. I was selling fireworks.
You was a hustler.
I was, and we still hustle.
To go down to Canal Street and get
Little
the fire.
It ain't that easy now. You gotta go to Connecticut.
Listen, I don't know where you go because I've been so removed from it. And it's so funny because, over the last 20 years, I've been going to the Essence, actually since the 90s, late 90s. I've been doing the Essence Music Festival.
Okay.
And Coach sent me something yesterday. It was like
Ghost Town.
At the thing. And then I hit my niece because she worked for Essence. And she's like, yeah, it's sort of quiet.
Oh, really? Yeah, it was hardly enough. They were showing the concert, and it was like maybe, I didn't even say half. It was like a quarter.
It was empty. It wasn't even a quarter.
Yeah.
So, but like what happens, like in the beginning, because there'd be so many performances, like say the shows might start like 6:30, and it goes all the way till like 1, 2 in the morning.
Right.
So there's a lot of people performing, but it's light. But I think that was like an 8 o'clock clip of it. And around 8 o'clock, it usually be a crowd swarming up in the place. It was chirp, chirp, chirp.
It's usually light for the
It was
early
crickets.
I saw another video. It was showing the street. I think it was Broad Street. It was hardly nobody on the street.
Wow.
Tariffs.
But you know,
yeah, maybe.
Well, it could be the tariffs.
I was going to say how much is ticket price.
But,
I'm sure
I think that might be a problem too because
people ain't trying to spend that money.
And the way, like when the tourists come there, the businesses they hit you with a little extra tax.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the prices aren't pricing right.
Right.
The math ain't mathing.
Right. I can see that.
Did you see?
Oh, I'm sorry. Also, I think they had a little issue with the artists performing, and so some of the artists refused to perform because somebody was on strike, so some of the artists withdrew from the performance.
Oh, okay.
So that was
I know
also-
LL did that over
Right,
the
LL
weekend,
was-
but I don't think he was there.
That
Right,
was Philly.
that was Philly where he was at. Yeah,
They said in New Orleans too.
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah. I know he refused to
Philly,
get on there. I forgot who it was that was on strike.
And then- oh wow.
But did anybody read that thing that Trump wanted the people to charge if you're not from this country to go to the national parks to charge them more?
I didn't see that.
Right. Anybody not from the country is going to the national park, charge them more than people here from the country. And
The Great Divide.
like when you buy a ticket, who asks you where you from here?
Right.
Which is kind of weird, but yeah.
That's
So-
the Great
That means
Divide.
you gotta walk around with your passport.
Yeah, I guess so.
What
Right,
the
so
real
your
ID or your passport?
No, the passport, because the passport tells you what country where you
country
from.
you from,
Right.
right?
Your real ID tell you from you whatever state you got a
You
license.
got it,
in.
right.
Well, that
Which
tell
is
you where you
crazy.
from?
A passport doesn't
I'm
a
talking about your ID. Doesn't that dictate where you from?
Tell you,
tell you from the United States.
Say your
But
address.
in his question,
Right.
from another country, your passport says where you're from.
U.S. Right.
Right.
True, yeah.
Do you don't have to really walk around with your passport unless you don't have the real ID.
Right. If you're not, you
But something
I would,
right.
that's for the plane or whatever. But for his scenario, where he said,
Going to
how
the
would you know someone from a different country? You would have to show your passport. Your passport
I
says
got you.
right.
Yeah,
But
you
again,
gotta
do you
realize
walk
this.
around with your?
No,
Right.
you
That's
don't.
a-
But for his correct,
Right.
for his
It's a
question,
hypothetical, but ain't no.
I'm concurring. I'm not
Right.
being
Right.
oblivious to it.
yeah. Okay.
Let's say we're going along to get along, but like, who does that? In
Right.
other words,
Ain't no
who
vendor-
does that?
There's no vendors asking you that. He's gonna stop each individual to ask you that.
Right,
To
come on.
charge you a different price for
And-
the same shirt. You just
And if you
sold
ask somebody where they
else.
from, trust and believe, they'll probably leave. They won't even.
They won't even
participate.
yeah, they won't deal
Yeah,
with
that's
that.
what I'm saying.
Well,
Why you
Yeah,
gonna
but
cause a
you gotta
revolt?
understand, you going all the way to a national park. It's not like you right at a city somewhere. You
Right.
wait to go to the national
Mhm.
park.
Right.
So if you're gonna get charged extra because you're not a citizen, you just gonna get charged extra because you made
You wanna go,
Right.
right.
That was the purpose of going there.
Exactly.
Because you want to see that national
Yeah, because
park.
national parks
Not
are,
like
are
you
not
going to
around the
New York
way.
City.
Right.
You know what
Them
I
things are all over the place.
you know what I
but they're
learned
not-
with tourists? They spend the money.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they don't
They,
care.
Well,
yeah, they spend the money.
But there's only a certain amount you're gonna spend because after a while you're gonna get upset and you're gonna say, no, I'm not even going there because
Mhm.
now
Well,
you're
that's,
trying to
that's
overcharge me.
right. That's the next
Well,
time.
I want to double back to like the Essence Fest because they was also it's more of I'm gonna say it was more of a urban, so it's more of a black cultural thing, and so some of the businesses there they closed, and then the people that do stay and do business they would add on like a little extra checks
Because they knew
to
it was
the
gonna get
situation.
people, right.
where they would generate revenue, but as the prices are getting out of control, that might been part of the reason why a lot of people ain't show up. I mean, it is if they looking to salvage it, or I don't know what's gonna become of it. Like, cause like if you did that bad, would you continue doing it? It's
But
it's
after
like-
a few years, you're gonna get
right.
Well, the thing with that, like you said, they hike up the prices, but in the same token, if you see that people ain't coming, you're gonna lower the prices.
Or make a change
Or
some
try-
kind of
right,
way.
You're gonna have to make a change because New Orleans is a tourist town anyway.
Yeah.
So they shouldn't be hiking prices up just because of the Essence thing, because you always have people going to New Orleans. That's like a popular
Mardi Gras,
yeah, all that.
All-Star games been a couple
All
of
that
times.
stuff.
They do that with every big event.
Yeah.
But
My
yeah.
question to you, why you didn't go this year?
I was busy here doing podcasts and things of that nature.
Good answer.
I felt that they needed
Good
it.
answer.
Actually, I was really conflicted, and I'm gonna shout out to my friend Carol, who usually does a trip. And when I saw the prices, I'm like, oh well, I don't think I'm going to that. and I wasn't really traveling, so I didn't get the real ID. And I was figuring because my license expired, like come my birthday, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna just
Do
try
it
to
then.
everything
Do
at
everything
once.
then, right.
But now you come to find out that you still got to make an appointment
Yes.
to do the real ID,
Mhm.
and you may not be able to do it simultaneously with your license.
And,
No,
and,
you can't.
and
I'm going there.
but you gotta have all your stuff with you. You gotta
Yeah.
bring your birth certificate.
Right.
You gotta. It's
Social
like you
Security
starting
card.
all over
Mhm.
again, right? exactly.
Well-
if you do it simultaneously, same time, they'll tell you because they'll tell you at the window. Get it all done at one time.
Okay.
It's all the same.
I'm
car.
going Wednesday, so I'll let you know.
Driver's license and real ID is the same thing.
Well, happy birthday. Is it?
It's coming up, but I gotta do it before the birthday come up.
All right.
Yeah, but no, the real ID is the issue with that is if you have real ID, they won't let you on the plane. If you got a regular license, you won't be able to get on the plane to
but
find
when
the
you
match.
get-
when you get the license,
Unless you got a
now,
passport.
it's a real ID license.
You won't be
Yes.
able to get on the
There's no more regular driver's
Right.
license.
I thought it was just international.
No,
You won't be able to
America.
get on the plane to go to Atlanta. You
Right.
won't-
I thought you could do that if you had a passport.
A passport.
No, if you got your
You can.
passport, yes.
Yeah,
But
you don't have
if
it,
you're
uh,
going domestic, you ain't bringing your passport. You
could-
not.
would
You
have
could
to now.
though.
Yes, but us Americans don't do that.
Right, yes.
Other
Right,
people,
we don't-
other countries
we don't-
always walk with their passport. We
right.
don't.
But
That's
now, if you don't have the real ID,
You can use your passport.
yes.
And if you have an enhanced license give you access to go to Canada, United States, and Mexico,
true. Okay.
where the real ID only gives you America.
I
Right.
got you. Okay.
Well,
I have an enhanced license.
I understand.
The what?
I had
Enhance. They got the
Enhance.
real
Yeah.
ID.
Yeah,
Enhance.
Sound like
I
you
thought
said
you-
hand slice.
Yeah, I heard that too.
What he said?
It doesn't
Sound
sound like
like
you
you
said
said
hair
hand
slice.
Oh,
Got a
it-
hand slice.
Enhance.
Listen. I had a friend that used to work for the DMV,
Yes.
and that's all I got.
Uh,
I ain't got that friend no more. It's like knowing a guy.
Moving right,
But
moving right along.
in your case, if you did it now, if you did it earlier this year, it wasn't gonna it was only gonna go from now to your birthday.
Right.
It would
No, it would continue on.
It would give you the 8 years from whatever you did it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So you don't have to wait if you didn't want
Right,
to.
you don't have to wait.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Too late now, but
No,
I mean,
no,
you can
I'm
make an
sure.
appointment because you can go early. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, with that being said, I mean, it's just crazy.
Well, how long has that been going on in New Orleans? How many years has it been?
Ooh.
That's just been
Over 30.
yeah. It's
So
man.
sometimes things come to an end. Maybe no one really
Well,
wants
they
to.
had talked about going to other cities. Remember, I think they were
Well,
talking about
actually,
going to
when they
Atlanta
had
and Houston.
they went to Houston.
Right.
When
Something happened.
when Katrina was
Right.
right,
Right.
and how was that?
I didn't go then, but
Oh.
I didn't go to Houston, but I went back when they opened up
Mhm.
and whatnot. I went. So the way it went, I went to the All-Star game, and then when it opened up, and I said, "Oh, okay, look, okay, I'm gonna come back to Essence," and I went to Essence.
Okay,
So, and that was like in 08, 09. I went
right.
both years. So it was like
I
a
forgot
rebound.
that. Yeah, I went with you. I
Yeah,
forgot.
It's been quite a few years going.
Mm.
My question is, the acts that they get, do they get the same acts?
Different one. No, it's,
Yeah,
it's
or
usually
the-
different.
Do they get younger as the
No, they get older acts.
They get older acts,
That's
but
what I'm saying.
but
So
sometimes
some
they
of-
get some people who have stuff out. They do sometimes they do
Mary,
be there.
Mary
They
headline
don't
back,
dominate the
back in the
whole set,
days.
though.
But
No,
That
no,
set
no.
is usually older.
Frankie
acts.
Beverly and Mays was.
Oh, they have but they got a lot of acts.
So now
Yeah,
you
I
gotta act like Frankie Beverly and Mays ain't around no more.
No, well, Frankie
listen,
Beverly ain't
right, I
there,
mean,
but
well,
yeah.
So,
Listen,
and it
as-
happens with all those
but
acts. So
they
as those
also-
acts go,
But
they
they
also
You gotta
replace
add-
them.
You're right. You
I
gotta add new
would
acts.
say I remember. So it's been 20 years since Luca died, and I was down there when he passed away. And they had people like Prince perform, Usher.
Charlie Wilson.
Yeah, they
I mean,
had,
they got plenty of acts to choose
Yeah.
from.
and it's a
and-
3-day concert.
yeah.
Right.
But the
So,
thing is,
They
that
got to be willing to
the
do it.
people that go to see these acts ain't
Yeah.
the same people
Right. They
that
gonna
went to
lose.
go see
Right.
Luther.
You're gonna lose.
No,
them,
but see
right.
what
You're gonna lose
they got the main stage, and then they have other stages
many
on
stages.
many stages where they have like smaller acts. You know, people
And
that's not major artists, but they got songs
let
out.
me clarify. They always have the top acts performing. So if they have like a throwback R&B, they have the modern day artists.
Mhm.
They were on top of their game for over the years.
New editions always there.
I mean, the prices is the key.
Kevin Hart performed there,
Oh,
Chris
yeah.
Rock. I mean,
Right.
Always
I could bring like whoever was hot at that moment
They
perform.
See, that's what I'm trying to say. For the younger people, do they bring in
Sexy Red.
Right.
No.
Or Lil
They
Wayne.
might be there.
Or whoever the hot rappers are. Do they bring
Kendrick
that in?
Lamar actually again. So instead of at the risk of being redundant, the hot acts around that time always perform. So even or
So
if
maybe
they
that's part
paid
of the problem.
homage to
Some of them
Run
hot acts
DMC.
ain't what I want to see.
well,
There's gonna be people there
but then
that
they
you
have-
want to see.
right.
There's
They-
always somebody there that
So-
you would want to see.
so again,
Always.
and then
And they got
again,
3 days of it.
right. So if you have a top hot act for today, you have somebody from like the Whispers perform again, New Edition, Frankie Beverly and Mays, like you said, Charlie Wilson, Prince, Sly Stone, Larry Graham, all these
Sound
people
like a lot of
over
dead
the
people,
years.
don't it?
Like the Isley Brothers
They,
was
bro-
there.
they brothers, they brothers be filling in for them.
Yeah, I know.
He said, they
So
brothers.
I mean, so all right, so
Yeah.
See, like somebody for
You
him,
been doing
like
one of them old Motown reviews.
well, like for us, the Isley Brothers perform. Somebody for him, Glorilla perform. You know.
Oh wow, yeah, Mongo, he dissed you. He said, "Gorilla."
No, I like Gorilla.
But wait, he ain't even,
Yeah, Glow.
listen. You ain't 20 something.
Right,
You ain't you know you
That's what I'm
seasoned.
saying. He,
right,
Right.
he,
Babyface perform.
when he gonna see Glorilla, everybody else is like 20 years old,
So-
and he's 59,
so again,
and they're all looking at him like,
let's not
your grandpa.
let's move on because we really feel like we spin our wheels because then they have the main stage, they have super stages, they have all kind of things.
Maxwell was there.
So it's
Okay.
just a lot. But let's just continue to roll around. So did we got at you the weekend? Everything was good.
Yeah, it was quiet. You know,
and Baby.
my cousin had a little barbecue at his house. So that was cool on Friday,
That's good.
and just chilled out the rest of the weekend. Nothing crazy, you know.
All right, Tiny, how was your weekend? How was your?
I was good, man. I DJ'd my cousin's barbecue. You know, so I was good.
All right,
Nice,
man. Next
nice.
time you have another thing, let us pull up, man. Because you know we wasn't essence bound, I'm just saying, but it's all good. But so let's get at it. So you know, baseball. Me, Coach, you know, and a few other people. We went to the rubber game yesterday. The Mets and the Yankees at the stadium at Citi Field. And so the Yankees salvaged that game. So it made it 3-3. So I was saying basketball theater. So now we're on to baseball theater now. So they evened it. It was 3-3 season series. So the Yankees in a tailspin. Like, let's start with you, Serge. What do you think is wrong with the Yankees?
the pitching. They lost a starter, and the starting pitching, Rodon is starting to go back to his old giving up home runs routine. And the starting pitching hasn't been, since they lost Cole, all they got really is Max Fried. The bullpen is erratic again, and we need a third baseman. We need a third baseman in the worst way. Jazz Chisholm is not a third baseman. He's a great second baseman, but when it comes to third base, he makes too many crazy throws. And it's starting to catch up. That's why they sat him down yesterday. He was one of the hottest bats in the lineup, but they sat him down because his defense ain't up to par. And Anthony Volpe's next because he ain't been playing well either.
Well, who's playing second base now?
The Mayu or
okay.
Peraza
Okay.
or whoever they want to stick in there, but it should be Chisholm. But they don't have a third baseman. They should have traded for Arenado before the season even started. Maybe his bat ain't as good as it used to be, but his glove is still great. And that's our problem. Our problem is not scoring because we lost games where we scored 5 runs or more.
Mhm.
If our defense played well and our pitching holds up, we wouldn't lose those kind of games because we're doing enough hitting. We just not playing enough. We're not pitching well, and we're not playing enough defense to win games. And I'll be honest with you, I honestly believe that if the Mets had swept them yesterday, Boone would be gone today. I really
Oh, you
do
think so? Yeah.
'cause
Wow.
they ain't that bad of a tailspin.
I
They
was-
playing terrible.
Yes, that would have been 7 in a row.
They
That's
was
not.
8 games up 2 weeks ago. They
Mhm.
3 games back now.
Right,
That's
that's
a
not
12-game swing.
that's not
In
good.
2 weeks.
I was
That's
gonna
almost
say that-
impossible.
That wasn't no rubber match. We was scrambling to
No.
be tied.
No, the rubber
Yeah, we
match.
scrambled.
Yeah.
The rubber match is like you play 6 games. You won 2 in the Bronx and lost 1. Then you lost 2 here and you won 1. But I think it was the Blue Jays series that really just the wheels came off
Mhm.
because they beat us like we stole something.
Well, I don't want to take nothing from Jazz, but playing second base that distance from second to first is not from third to first.
Oh, you gotta have a nice,
Yes.
strong, accurate
Yes.
arm. Right.
So-
That's the problem. He got a strong arm, but it's not as accurate as it
Right,
should be.
right. So he definitely needs to stay there in second.
And the skills at second and third is totally different.
Totally
Their
different.
reflexes got to be
Mhm.
Yes,
5 times faster at third than at second.
yes.
But for the most part, you're not getting them hard line drives at second base like
Right.
you get at third base.
Well,
So
Those guys got to be like that.
here
on
go.
top of the
So
ball.
here go the thing. People like LeMayu, so he has played. He's a utility player. He played a lot of positions, but now he's older, so he probably don't have that pizzazz in his arm neither.
Exactly.
And then
His reflexes ain't there either.
then you got Goldsmith playing
He's
first
playing
base.
great.
Mhm.
He's playing great first base. He's saving a lot of the bad throws that them guys are making.
I'm
They
not.
making
It's
a
not
lot.
his fault. He's actually playing Gold Glove first base. It's the rest of them guys that ain't
I'm
playing.
not
well.
taking
Volpe
no
and
shots
and
at
Chisholm.
nobody.
Hmm.
I'm not. But would you put Chaz at second and put LeMayu at third, or do you just outright need a third baseman? And
No, we outright
Yeah,
never
we need
third
out.
baseman.
Yeah, I think
They
we need
signed
third
some
base. I don't
kid
know.
who's all glove and no bat, and he's in the minors right now trying to.
I was
get
gonna say,
ready.
I don't
So they
know who
might
the
bring
farm
that
system
guy
right
up.
now,
Mm.
but
And
they
they have-
gotta bring somebody up.
they do have
He
some
played for the
people,
Diamondbacks last year.
and they do have some people that are shortstops by coming behind Volpe. Is it time to move him, or do you extend it because he has made some horrible those
Right.
errors?
Right.
And judging from, Surge Outlast or whatever.
His outburst.
Yeah, outburst. I was like outburst. He ready to help Volpe pack his stuff.
I never thought he was that good from the beginning. He won a Gold Gloves by accident, and everybody
He said
was
by
on top-
accident.
Yeah, and everybody's on top of how great he was, and then after that, he ain't been that great anymore. All them guys who used to all be all over Volpe, I don't hear from them no more. I don't hear him talking about how great he is anymore. The guy's inconsistent hitter. Every once in a blue moon, he hits a home run, and he gets.
Well, he got 10 home runs.
Yeah, and he got 48 RBIs, but it's not because he's
And
batting
he batting
300.
220.
He's batting right, and a lot of times when he come up in clutch situations, he don't come through. He come through a lot of times when it don't matter.
Mhm.
When we're winning 5-0
cats out.
or we losing 6-0, all of a sudden he get a home run and make it 6-2. Or
He
he'll
said
hit
when
a-
it don't
he'll
matter.
hit a double and drive in a guy, and we lose the game 6-3. When it count,
Hold on.
watch
hold
him.
on.
Watch
Hold
him when
on.
it counts.
So, I mean,
I love that. Watch
Alex
the game. Y'all not
Rodriguez,
watching
they
the
accused
games.
him of
Y'all
hitting
not
home
watching
runs.
the
The
games.
game within the game.
they accused A-Rod of hitting home runs when it didn't count. I don't know what John Carlos is doing right now. I mean, maybe he's waiting for the postseason, but are we going to make it to the postseason? I don't
I
know.
don't know.
We're on
Um,
life support.
I
Right
don't
now.
know.
I
That's the
see
way
they
he play.
sort of souring on Grissom also.
Who?
Trent Grissom.
Oh, Trent Grissom. But he's a good center fielder.
Yeah, but
They-
he made a mistake the other
They
day.
showering on him,
And,
too.
and he's another guy. He's popping a lot of home runs, but he don't really hit like that either.
No,
Right,
he's not a
not
home
for
run hitter.
average.
I mean, honestly and truthfully, is Judge, Goldschmidt,
And that's it.
Ben Rice.
But Ben
Ain't,
Rice, right.
ain't Bellinger's
Bellinger.
not
Kid
playing well?
Bellinger's playing
Bella
well.
just playing.
Bellinger's playing much better than when he started because he started off terrible, and lately he's been really good. Jazz Chisholm is hitting, but his fielding is killing me a little bit. Austin Wells, I'll take him because he's not that bad. He's a decent catcher, and he gets his little home runs too. But there's guys in that lineup that, for
Yo.
whatever reason,
So I don't know exactly where you Rice got pop in his bat, but his average is so-so. So yesterday we had the game, and I'm like, Wells is up. And I'm like, yo, this guy all he do is swing for the fences. Then he got the ball past the next pitch, out the ballpark. I was like, wow. I meant to say, way to go. I mean, but it's rough, but clearly judging by the way it is, that they're not going far with the way they play.
Not with that pitching.
I wouldn't have never thought going into that game, the Mets would have a better record than the Yankees going into that game.
It ain't that much. I mean,
But still,
Well, the Mets
48. What we 48?
49 and
now?
41.
Yeah,
But-
I would have thought that.
But the Mets had their hard way to go, and then
Yeah.
they got
Right, they
better
turned it
playing the
around,
Yankees.
right.
Right,
turned
they
it
got
around.
it right playing us.
They got it right.
That's what happened.
But
no,
actually,
we took 2 out of 3 from the Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, right,
We got
right.
48, so they
40
games better than
48 and 41.
Right.
Well, we was the week
52.
before. We wasn't playing well,
us. No,
and then we took
Y'all
2 out of
lost a
3
bunch
from the
of games to
Brewers.
Pirates.
Like, oh hell, the Pirates destroyed us.
But
And
see
then
now,
the Pirates turned around and got shut out 3 games in a row.
Ain't that
against
crazy?
Right,
Somebody else.
right.
right.
Right, and go how well the Dodgers were playing. They get to Houston, they get
And
demolished.
Houston
Crazy,
killing them.
right. They get
Got
cracked.
demolished.
I mean, it do happens, but being that we Yankee fans, you know, some of us, I'm not expecting to fall like this right now. I'm expecting
Right.
to at least stay close to the top.
Right.
You
Well,
know
you
what I'm
are
saying?
close to the top.
Yeah,
see,
but
this-
we got these streaks, these loser streaks,
Well,
man.
you know, I mean, it's
But
not
it-
gonna last forever.
It's like
Yeah, but we in the second half of the season now. I don't want to see. We don't
No.
want to see that.
Well,
We
wait
wanna
till
see
the
a
All-Star
surge.
break, guys.
but
Get
it's
rest
like,
and
it's
relax.
like I was saying on the text the other day. This is 3 years in a row where we start off hot,
Strong, right?
and then in the middle of the season we swoon,
Mm,
and then come September we pick it up a little bit, just enough to make the playoffs.
right.
And then they say, "Oh, we made the playoffs." Yeah, okay. Last year we got to the World Series, but it was a very weak American League.
Right.
Mhm.
This time around, Cleveland
Yeah,
and
teams is
Detroit
better.
and Houston are better. There's
Mhm.
no guarantees we're gonna
Mhm.
get to the World Series. Not
the
with
pitcher-
the way we play.
And does the pitcher look the same, or the pitcher look?
No, the pitcher's not as good.
Exactly.
Pitcher's
That's
not
what I'm
as good.
saying.
So, so
And
All right.
Devin Williams is unreliable. Oh my God, we got this guy. I think ever since Alonso hit that home run off in the series last year in the playoffs, he ain't been the same.
Would you take
Now
Chapman
he's
back
the
now?
He made the All-Star game,
Yeah, he did.
so check it out. That is
and so
another.
did Gleyber Torres.
That's another.
my favorite
Wow.
Yankee.
That's another pet peeve. When Neil O'Donnell was playing for Pittsburgh,
Calm
He
down.
threw a
Be careful,
touchdown.
Be careful, Dave.
Yeah.
Be careful.
no, he threw an interception.
You
Neil,
talking about the Super Bowl?
Yeah, and then the
So-
Jets went out and got him.
Them-
That's a
them-
bad omen. So
Them
hold
interceptions
on,
was
let me
not his fault.
hold up.
We gonna go. We gonna
hold
keep
up. I'm
going.
not
I got
pot shotting
you.
at
That's
people.
I got you.
comparing
I
Devin
got
Williams to
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You see the scenario.
Yeah, I can see
You
it.
see,
I
I'm
can
not.
see it.
I'm not.
I understand,
So
but
it's
to
crazy
me,
how
I want
Yeah.
you to stop
I
letting things affect you, bro, because you're gonna have a hard
be
enough
careful,
season
Dave.
coming.
Be careful.
You're
all
gonna
right?
be decent in some places, and you're gonna be bad in some places. So you need to just hold it.
You be careful.
Just hold it. Just
Wait,
hold the
I'm
water.
What do you
holding it
want,
right
man?
now.
He's a Yankee and that fat. What do you
And a
want?
Steeler fan.
Yeah.
Listen, I want him to hold the swing, not wrap himself around the swing when he pushing around the
Green, you started this. Green, you started this.
No, no.
If you watch it,
I want you to pay attention to what this was. This was not your turn to speak. Not about Pittsburgh.
all right,
All right.
I got you.
I
I'm
was
just making
saying
a comparison. I got you.
that is great. That is correct.
Devin O'Donnell.
Well, listen.
I was like, where you going with this?
I was trying to figure it out too.
So, but if you think about it, what he was saying was once he gave up that home run, and then you go out and get him.
Well, you can say the same thing about Aaron Rodgers.
But hold up,
His
check-
last name was a
but hold
Green
up,
Bay.
check
and
this
shit.
out. How about who was that on your team that caught them 2 interceptions? He got the big deal at the Raiders, and then he wasn't good after that.
But he's not here, so
No, I'm just saying
I-
it works both ways.
no. I want you to
What was
understand.
his name? You remember him?
I want you to understand. How is that helping your team? Exactly. Don't
I understand what
exactly.
you're saying, but it
All
goes
right.
both ways. That's all I'm saying.
I want you to
Both of them
pay.
got picked up.
I want you to pay attention.
The one that threw the interception, one that caught the interception.
Listen.
They both got picked up.
Yeah,
They
you-
both wound up doing nothing with the rest of their career.
I want you to
You
remember.
got a
this-
contract out of it.
Yeah,
I want you to
got a
remember this date. Your time is coming.
Uh-oh.
When Aaron Rodgers start throwing them
Larry Brown?
interceptions.
Larry Brown. There you go.
Larry Brown. Wow.
I want you to remember. All right, let me just do quick shout out to Lester
Went
Bird,
to the
Mike
Raiders.
Pender, Nigel
Off them 2
Williams,
interceptions, got
Sharon
big
Johnson, Scotty
I ain't mad
Scott,
at him.
Ken Daughtry,
I ain't mad at him.
and D Gores. All right, shout out to everybody who's paying attention. All right, so we're in the first half hour, 5 minutes. First stop to the next stop. Phone lines are open. The number is 516-206-0711. It is first stop to next stop. Super Dave, Coach Kurt, Serge the Sports Star, Slick the Relic,
The living fossil
G Money.
is in the building.
What up? What up?
All right, and Tiny in there with us as well. All right, again, phone lines are open. 516-206-0711. We're trying to put a Band-Aid on the baseball season. Up next, Coach Kurt going to talk about the Mets. So let's go.
Oh, well, we ain't doing that much better, man. I mean, we may be a few games ahead of y'all, but it ain't all good and glory over here either, man.
50 is 50.
Well, we haven't been getting the clutch hits. I'm tired of like winning games. What's the other game we won last week? I think we hit 4, 5, 6 home runs in the game. And that's how we scored runs. We didn't we didn't, like single, double, that type of thing. Everything is a home run. That's how you win it. You can't, when it gets further down things, you're not going to win games that way. You're not. You got to be able to put hits together and,
put the ball in play.
Yes.
Who I'm thinking your $70 million man getting snubbed for the All-Star game?
Oh, he should have been on the All-Star game. He got better stats than Tatis. And I'm sitting there looking, I was like, are you for real or something?
Yeah. What's he call it should be in there. He's not in there. That kid from Chicago, the one who lead the league in RBIs.
Yes.
Suzuki,
Yes.
and he didn't make it.
Did Wood make it from Washington?
Yeah, Wood make it.
And he just fired their manager, And the GM.
Yeah.
And the GM. And they get the drafters, I think it's this week or next week?
Yeah, next week.
Next week.
And they fired everybody.
Right, which is crazy. But I think Soto should have been on the All-Star game.
Yeah, he might get on with the injury thing.
Maybe.
There's a few guys that's injured that got named to the team, so he might still get it. Even
What's
though
his name?
Suzuki should get it over him.
I didn't get a chance to look it up. Has the catcher for Seattle, has he ever hit over 30 home runs before?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
This might be one of them.
Fluke years.
Yeah, fluky years
Yeah.
for a guy like him.
I was trying to remember.
He got 35 home runs, correct?
Yeah, I think he's leading the majors. Yeah.
Yes.
What's the guy name for Philadelphia? Leads off. Always hit like 30 plus home runs every year. Schwarber. That's what I was trying to think of before. I couldn't remember his name. Over 30 home runs almost every year. You could just pencil his name in there. And he lead off. He's not a typical lead off guy.
So my thing is, like with the Yankees, so if Goldsmith is 37, he lead off at times. So I'm not a fan of, of course, I'm that guy, like, if your coach or your manager's acting up, fire him. All right, get him out of here. He done lost 6 in a row. And again, if he would have just held out and lost 7 in a row, we'd be talking about
a new manager.
Right. But in reality, do we have somebody really to replace him?
Yeah, somebody on the bench.
Who?
Whoever he is. You know all the coaches?
We don't have
all the
nobody.
coaches.
Yeah,
I'm different.
They're gonna
from
bring
Serge.
somebody off the bench.
I'm different from Serge. I'm not firing them right now. I'm letting them do season.
Do you know all the coaches on the bench, on the staff?
Who?
Yankees.
No.
I know I don't. I don't know all the coaches on the Mets staff.
Well, that guy Riley had 34, 30, 27. So, I mean,
so
he got 35 for half the season. So, this is like he still had 32 years out of the 5 he's played. So, it's not like it's that much of an
And you would think, it's a long season as being a catcher, unless they move him to DH sometimes.
But it's funny because it seems like there's a lot of guys with a lot of home runs now.
Yeah.
Home runs seem to be very prevalent. But
Yeah.
that's because of the way baseball's played.
Right.
Now. It's all about hitting the long ball.
The long ball. They don't manufacture runs.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not like that no more. It's an old, what do you call it?
3-1 home run?
Weaver, right.
Yeah.
Earl Weaver thing.
Exactly. I forgot about it.
Pitching in a 3-run home
Yeah.
run going to win you the game.
But he was competitive most of the years with his team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they had a good
His
team.
philosophy.
Right.
His philosophy was good pitching and hit the 3-run homer. And now everybody's philosophy is hit 3-run homers and then win the game.
Yeah,
It ain't
that
about
Back home runs.
Yeah, the guys want to hit home runs.
Right. So you don't manufacture runs.
Not
It's
really.
all about the long ball.
There's very
and-
few teams that do that.
So that's part of the reason why certain guys don't hit good for average, because they
Right.
taking
that
those
too.
big
right. Swinging for the
strokes, right.
Swinging for the fences. I can make it such and such amount of money hitting 25 to 35 home runs
Right.
easily. I
And
can
they
make
don't care if I strike out 100
Right.
times. Shohei Ohtani and Judge have struck out over 100 times already. Luis Arias struck out 9 times. He struck out 9 times the whole season.
Mm.
And these guys striking out 100 times.
100 times. Half a
In
season.
half a season.
Wow.
That's crazy.
It is.
But Luis
Times have
Arias
changed.
is a single sitter.
Yeah.
Nobody likes that.
No.
You
Yeah.
know, he's a great player. He won 3 batting titles in a row, but don't mean nothing because he only gets like 5 or 6 home runs.
Right.
Oh, you useless. That's ridiculous.
I guess that's why he's been on a few teams now.
30 years ago, he'd have been a superstar.
Right.
He'd have been Rod Carew.
Rod
Carew.
Wade Boggs.
Yep.
He'd have been a guy like that. But now he's just a guy who hits a lot for average.
But he's not a good fielder either.
I mean, they moved him to first base.
Yeah.
You see
Well, he
him
was
play
a
first
second
base.
baseman.
You got to find a spot for
Yeah.
You seen I mean, he plays second. I mean, you're a second baseman. You're not gonna most of the time. They're not really great fielders anyway. That's why they play second base. The great fielders are the guys on the other side of the
Yeah.
field.
The shortstop, third, right.
Shortstop.
Yeah.
Outfielders.
Yep.
Second base and right field. That's what they used.
I saw a thing. They had labeled how they talked about certain positions. You know, they said your best athletes was center fielder,
Right.
shortstop,
Third
guys
base.
with the great arms, shortstop,
great
third
arms.
base, or
Right,
whatever.
right field.
Right field,
Right.
you know.
And like he's saying, like so was saying earlier, you got to have an accurate arm.
Right. And usually the worst outfielder is the left fielder.
Right.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Who's his-
Right. Left
So,
field.
and then the strongest arm is
It's
in
the
the
right
right
field.
fielder.
It's right
And
fielder.
the center fielder owns the
Right.
outfield.
Yeah. He controls that. He's supposed to make all the calls.
Back
Right,
in the
makes all
days,
the
the
calls.
guys, the left fielder wasn't the worst. It was always the right fielder.
Right.
For some reason, I guess because most guys, they never really hit the ball to
right field that
as
much,
as they
right.
Hit it to left field
Right.
or center field.
Yeah.
But
A lot
they
of guys
still
was
had
pull
strong
hitters,
arms.
right.
You need a strong arm because if they hit it there, it's
Right.
a longer throw.
So Dave Parker, he had a
Yeah, Dave Parker,
Can't.
Roberto
Yeah.
Clemente,
Roberto Clemente, yeah.
Dwight Evans. You got
Dwight
all those
Evans.
guys that
Wow,
had
I
some
forgot
super
about Dwight
arms.
Evans, yeah. Forgot about
that
him.
was crazy.
Them big crazy arms.
Ellis Valentine.
Yeah, Ellis
Yes.
Valentine.
Right.
Guys like that. They had
Cannons.
Yeah,
Yes.
goodness.
Yeah, they have a cannon to play that
Wow.
position.
I hear that.
Like,
Baseball's
Now
different.
you could be Juan Soto. Lob the ball back into the infield. Guy has no arm, but he's
and
in right
he
field.
be jogging to the ball too. I'll be like, yo, what are you
Yeah.
doing, man?
so,
Well, he ain't trying to get hurt. He know he's getting paid that money to hit.
Yeah, well, he's also playing the field
Right.
too.
You got to play.
So why am I hustling and I don't think I'm gonna get to the ball? So I'm gonna let it bounce in front of me so it don't get in behind me.
Let me ask you a question.
I don't think he'd be hot dogging it.
I think he do
Yeah,
sometimes.
you ever watch him run
I
out
think he
on
do,
a
Dave.
ground ball?
Yeah, I think he do. Let
They
me
could
put it
roll
this
the-
way,
They could roll the ball across the field and still beat him.
because I looked at him
But
in
you
the
was
beginning.
good when he was with us last year, right? But
No, he was
But
still
now-
doing that same.
was
but
dogging
you
it
was still
too.
good with him, though, right?
he was
Because he
because
hit.
because he hit, and he's hitting now.
Like-
He's fine.
Right, like it now.
but-
At the beginning of the season, he
Memphis
wasn't.
You know
Like,
what's
they
so
were
funny?
booing him, man.
It's funny
they
how
were hypocritical too.
Yeah.
it's
Because they all cheering him.
it's funny how
Well, I mean,
when you see him when you see players on another team, you're like, oh, he do this and that. But the actual fans like, yo, you don't see everything.
Right.
that
You
he
don't
does.
want
Oh, right. He was doing that for us last
way,
year.
man.
Right.
He go the way sometimes.
Right.
The
Right.
guy's good.
Now when you look, now when he's on your team, then you start seeing the little
Mhm.
flaws that you didn't see when he was on that.
Oh,
on-
you referring to Justin Bolton by any chance?
Nah, I'm actually.
What
I'm
was
actually
your
referring to
question?
Other,
What's your
other
question?
sports. But
Damn, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, well, it'll come back to me. Talk about it. Yeah.
Real quick,
yeah.
that video you sent out with Ben Simmons.
Oh,
right.
You
I
saw-
did.
you
I
saw-
played it. I saw the top
So
of
I
the thing
looked
when
it
he was
up,
talking
and
about.
the picture
Oh,
said
yeah.
that was 2018.
Right.
It's an old. It's an
Oh,
old.
yeah.
It was
It's an
7
old
years
video.
ago.
But it's being pushed out
Right,
now.
it's being pushed out.
Pushed out
That's,
now. I like, here we go again.
exactly. That's what
His
I was
three-point
telling.
shooting
I told
joints,
these
And he
guys-
always got his shirt off.
right.
Oh,
I told these guys years ago when he was shooting the 3-pointer. I
Right.
said they just Photoshop and change his
Right.
shirt.
Right.
But it's the same shot
Right.
from 20 years ago that he.
Somebody gonna sign him.
Uh,
That's it, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're gonna
So,
sign him, but
yeah,
not to
orange
know
and
what
blue.
he want because
No,
he don't
he's
want
crazy.
these minimum.
He gonna be with
Yeah.
the orange and blue.
You know,
He
because
don't want-
there's things he can
orange
do.
and blue.
Yeah, you
The
crazy.
Knicks? Wow.
Yo, he can defend, he can pass, he can rebound. He can't shoot and he won't shoot. Just like I put in that video. He can't shoot
All
and
right.
won't shoot.
Hold up. Now we got to take a time out. We're gonna do a Q&A. Coach Kirk,
Yes, sir.
and I know you're not in charge of the Knicks staff or anything like that. But
I'm not.
Would you sign
So
him?
you didn't even want the coaching job. We tried to give it to
Right,
you.
we trying to
Right. So and you like
So they turned you down and gave it to Mike Brown.
I want
Right.
to. I want to be player development. That's what I
Oh,
want.
oh,
That's
so-
the job I want.
so
Oh, so Ben Simmons is right up his alley.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you stupid.
so hold on. I just so you just killed my question.
He just said,
Nah, but he gonna quit before he get the job. How you gonna do that? He gonna quit before he get the
Actually, I
job.
want to get fired so I can keep getting paid.
right.
So would you
Right.
would you take LeBron at this age?
Hell no. No.
And you would take Ben Simmons?
I'll take Ben Simmons.
Oh,
You would?
oh,
I would. Yes.
Over LeBron?
Yes. He's
Wow.
younger.
Uh-oh.
Why am I giving up one of my star
He's
players
injury prone.
for a 40-year-old guy? I don't care that he's still performing well. He's 40 years old. You
How
know,
long you need
Well,
him for?
So
I
wait.
get the job. I
So
ain't
wait.
even gonna get
So
it.
what do you think? What do you think of the two pickups they got? Clarkson and the dude
Right,
from
Clarkson.
Philly.
Clarkson's a scorer off the bench, which is what he was doing at Utah. You know, so I mean, he probably gonna continue doing that. And what's the other guy?
The guy from
Yeah,
Philly. I
from
can't.
Philly.
Yeah.
The French guy.
Yeah.
He fill the role. He fills the role. He
you,
take.
you know him, man. You
No.
Philly fan.
Yeah.
I mean, how did you feel about him?
Oh no, he could play.
Yeah, he played well for
I just Philly didn't want to pay him no money, so
Right,
that's
he
why
didn't
he
want to
that's
I
why
don't
he
know
left.
what the Knicks signed him to, but the Knicks only signed Clarkson to a year contract. You know, like that's what they did with the people they had last year. The Shamans, the Pains. and
Well,
the
they should
French-
bring Shaman back, like to me, because
Sherman, yeah, I
he's-
wouldn't
he's-
want Payne. I don't want Payne back.
no, they don't need him. They got Clarkson. You
Clarkson's
don't
not a
need,
point guard.
but he still can handle the ball.
Yeah, he can handle the ball, but he's not.
Deuce
a
can
point.
handle the ball,
Deuce not a point guard either.
but he
Well,
still can handle the ball.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Who's handling the ball? Like if you know, and so this is not
So,
directly.
Who's out
Okay,
there?
so why they don't go getting Chris Paul?
No, I don't want him either.
Too much money.
Yeah, he gonna
he
want
gonna-
he gonna want more than the minimum.
and he's 40.
Yazabelli signed 2 years, $12 million.
Okay,
He's
Okay.
probably the only one that signed a 2-year,
they only signed Clarkson to 1 year.
1 year.
Oh, okay. Wow, I'm surprised.
But
by that.
like maybe because of the way this thing is structured, you get a 1-year deal, and then if they like you, they probably sign you a couple additional years.
is he was he under contract when the Jazz traded him?
No, he's a free
He was
free
I mean,
free
he was a
agent.
free agent. Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
I thought it was more than 1 year.
It's 1 year.
I hear that.
Yeah, 1 year, $3.6 million.
Oh,
Right.
Wow. I thought he'd be able to
Right.
come
I'm really a little dumbfounded by the way they handle their business and signing free agents or building a bench, which may be part to the cause of why they're not that successful.
Who, the
Because-
Knicks?
Yeah,
Because they don't want to go to over the second apron. That plays a
understand.
lot into
I
it.
understand that. And I'm not spending the money, but you still need to show something because, like, if you don't perform well, they could be like, "Oh, we're done with you," or you might be looking for another deal after you did perform well.
Well, let me ask you this: if you feel you're this close to a chip, don't you just go over the second apron anyway? You just go over it. You know when the players.
Do you know how much how much taxes you paying on over the
Well, in
second
New York,
apron?
I understand that.
I-
Anywhere.
But no, I get what you're
No,
saying.
I'm talking about the team. I ain't talking about
right,
per
right,
person.
right. But what I'm saying is, if you feel you're this close,
Right.
does that money matter? Because you feel it.
Knicks
this
are making
close.
money
A
regardless.
question.
No, that's my
Right.
point.
So,
Right.
so how many
Exactly.
people are paying over the second apron?
I have to look. I
There's
don't
not
know.
that many teams.
Well, if you're a championship, you feel you're right there. You just say
why
Right.
why
You
you
do-
think
you
why
do
you
it
think
for
Boston
1
got
year.
rid of those players that they
Who?
do? Boston.
Yeah, but
Well, they got rid of them because they know, but because their main one of their main players is not going to be there. So why would
That's
you?
too-
Why would you keep everybody?
But they
Yeah,
still
they got
paying
that
him.
shit already.
They still paying him. I understand what you're saying, Greg, but they still got to pay those two big dudes. Them dudes both are making close to $300 million in their contract.
They shaved off so much money.
But you know what? So what's so crazy though? That's normal culture in the in the NBA. That's culture to be all right. Let him go. Give him his money. Let's move on.
But what I'm saying though, teams don't want to get that second apron. You paying almost
No,
over over $50 million in
Right.
taxes.
Right.
They don't want to pay that extra. Besides paying that salary, yes, they're making money, but as a businessman, you don't want to pay that kind of
Right.
money off.
I think we look at it too much as that, like as it's our money.
Right.
So
We
because
look
I don't
at-
think
yeah.
the owners, I don't think all owners feel that way.
No.
I think some owners is gonna just pay the expense, and I would think the Knicks would just say, "Yo, let's just do it because we trying to win this shit."
Well, you gotta look at all the teams that was paying out big money. Most of them guys, new ownership. Boston, new ownership. Lakers, new ownership. Phoenix Suns, new ownership. Dallas, new ownership. Right? Them teams ain't gonna be paying that kind of money.
Right. But everybody you name won chips in the last 10 years.
That's what I'm saying. But when it gets to that certain point, right? Especially the new ownership probably don't want to pay that kind of money because they took over after they won. Those teams got to the championship.
All right, caller, who we have on the line?
Got Chris White. What's going on, fellas?
Mr. White. Mr. White. What's up?
All right, how y'all doing?
All
What's
right.
going on, man?
All right. I heard y'all talking about the situation with the second apron,
Yes.
and y'all were talking about with the Knicks. And I was gonna tell Silk that the truth of the matter is that nobody wants to end up like the Phoenix Suns.
Okay.
Because the Phoenix Suns put all that money on those three guys, just those three guys, and then they didn't have draft picks till 2030 until they made that trade for Durant. They had no picks until 2030.
Well,
All their picks were gone because of everything that they did to get Bradley Beal. They had Booker and they got Durant.
That's
And they look
that's
horrible.
true too. They didn't have any draft picks, and they couldn't
Right.
really fill out their team with quality guys that they needed, bench guys and rest of that.
But the Knicks done that already with Bridges. They already gave their picks up.
They got a pick next year.
They do. They got one. Oh, because it's every other year.
Yes, you can't have back to back.
How
You
you
can't.
do with them picks?
Huh?
How you do with the picks?
We'll see this winter.
They on the summer league team.
We'll see this winter. We'll see this.
They on the summer league team.
You can't judge them yet.
Yes, you can.
You can't.
All those guys ain't making
You
the
can't
team.
judge them yet.
You think all five of those guys are making?
I didn't say all
Listen,
five.
why
I
not?
said
They
you
didn't
can't
have
judge them.
nobody else. Why can't they?
I said you can't
You
judge
got
them.
Michael Porter Jr.
2 out of 5 is great. 3 out of 5 is excellent.
Yeah, but those 2 out of 5 you could have traded and got something else.
No judgment. No judgment. I hope they
We
all.
gotta wait and see.
I'm judging. I'm judging.
Coach
Gotta
Kirk
wait
doesn't
and see.
judge. We ain't judge.
I'm
not
gonna put it this way: I'm gonna say a failure
You
is
can't have but one job.
a failure.
Damn.
I don't know if you feel this way, sirs, but a failure to me is one of those 3-point guards don't make it.
A failure to you?
Right. Because we got 3-point guards. One of them better make it
You hope.
out of the group.
You hope.
Yes.
Well, maybe y'all can send it back to the Knicks. But Chris, what was your question, sir?
Well, no, I was gonna ask y'all, bro. I think also Kurt's right because as far as with the money, because I was thinking, I think he's still a free agent. I was thinking about Josh Giddey.
That's right.
Yeah.
He is. But isn't he a restricted free agent?
I don't know if he's restricted. That's a good question. I'm trying to wonder if he is.
I think
I think they restricted.
Oh, he's restricted. Okay.
Yeah, because I know Kuminga's restricted. So he ain't.
Yes,
he
Kuminga is restricted. Yes.
I'm not sure about Giddey, but I know Kuminga is. But Giddey's not bad. He's not a great outside shooter, but he can pass. You know,
And he can rebound.
Yeah, he can do that.
Yeah,
You-
get it
He
straight.
could
He's
rebound.
restricted. Yeah, we just looked it up. Giddey is restricted.
Yeah.
So those guys,
But
they're gonna get signed last because they can't really go unless the team, because the team's gonna match. They're not gonna let Giddey go.
So Kuminga,
Right.
I think Kuminga gonna stay in Golden State? Because I don't like the way Kerr necessarily handling him.
I think Kuminga's they're gonna do a sign and trade.
Yeah, they're gonna sign and trade him.
Yeah,
But-
They're gonna sign and trade.
Who knows? He needs the new atmosphere.
I'll send him to Miami.
Yeah, because listen, you know how many times Kuminga showed so much potential and then Kerr would sit him down.
Yeah,
I don't think Miami.
You know how many games he scored and he's doing good and all of a sudden he sat him down.
They just traded for Norman
Is he a
Powell.
defensive
That's right, yeah.
liability?
no, I don't think he is. I think he's one of those guys like forget about where the hell he at.
I'm
sometimes.
gonna say, do we get lost on the court?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
So that is a defensive
Right.
liability.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. But he still has a lot of potential. He's still young, man.
Yeah, he's
What is he,
young.
22?
Very young. Exactly.
23?
22.
Yeah, he's young and he's athletic.
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah, so I mean, I think he's going to do a sign and trade because they'll get more value for him, and then that way he could start anew somewhere else.
Right.
Right.
That's probably his
You know.
best bet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they're
so
not gonna
I
do
think
nothing
that'll
with him
work.
there, man. They because Kerr, you don't fit in with what Kerr want. Shoot the three and whatever like that.
Right.
Who knows?
Well, realistically, do anybody really think that Golden State is going to be?
It's about to
top
be over,
contending
kid.
team?
As soon as Curry leave, that's it.
If they
I
last around,
concur.
Yeah, that's it.
well, they're gonna try. They're gonna try to swing something big.
They need a big in the worst way.
Yeah, because what's the name left?
Looney left.
Looney
That's right.
left.
Looney left. Yeah.
All they got is post. And
I
he
wouldn't.
ain't-
I wouldn't have mind
3.2.
signing Looney as a backup because Looney.
That would be a good pickup.
But I forgot where he went. He signed with somebody, but Looney rebounds.
Did Nas Reed re-sign with Minnesota?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that 125 million. All right, yeah, that's a good deal. That was a good deal for him.
And Randall.
Randall.
But they lost.
And they re-signed Randall.
Yeah, but they lost
They
Alexander.
lost,
Right.
to the Hawks.
Well, yeah, he was right. He went to the Hawks. They got
Oh,
a bunch
okay.
of guys that the Hawks got a bunch of guys that do the same thing: play D, shoot three.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this: what you think about what the Wizards did?
Where they from?
Oh, Looney went to the Pelicans.
Oh, he did.
What they do?
Yeah, they got McCollum. They got Middleton. They got who else they got?
Smart.
They ain't going nowhere, man.
Yeah, I think they might win a couple of games.
Them dudes will be hurt by midseason.
Well, I
man.
can't
Yeah,
even
I think-
argue with that.
I
I can't argue with that.
Wait a minute.
Yo, Kurt, that's messed up, baby.
No, with the East, they got a chance. But if they got injuries,
Yeah.
players, I don't know.
They're gonna have a 7-man bench. That's what they're gonna have. The 7 players.
Hold up. Let me shout out my boy Eric Wilcox, the silent assassin. He said Looney is a duck, and
He said what?
Looney is a duck, and I sort of
Looney don't have to jump.
but I sort of agree with him. Quack.
That's okay, but
Yeah.
Looney rebounds though.
I
Yeah,
don't
Looney
know.
does what Looney's supposed to do.
I think
Right.
the rebound fall in his hand by accident.
Yeah, that's all right. But he
I
get
don't know.
positioned to
Well, he
get the
did a
rebound.
lot of accidents there, but he's done
Exactly.
pretty well with the rebound.
When he's in the
know.
game and they let him play, he has done stuff for
Offensive
them.
rebounding,
Right,
too.
for them. And
All right. Well,
Offensive
they
rebound.
just kind of fade away with him this year for whatever
Right, for
reason.
whatever reason,
Right.
they-
In the
they
beginning
got
of the
away
season,
from him.
they was playing what's the name, Son, and then all of a sudden he didn't see the court.
Gary Payton Jr.
No, the other guy. The other son.
Bobo.
No. On
I don't know
Golden
why he's
State.
still floating
Huh?
around.
Golden State. 6'9" guy, 6'10" guy.
Davis. son.
Right.
Right.
He was playing a lot in the beginning of the season. Then all of a sudden
Right.
he wasn't hardly playing at all.
That's correct.
And then they started playing him
Yeah.
like near the end of the season. They played him a little bit. Then they brought in that other Spanish kid that could shoot from the outside, but he don't rebound that much, They
Oh,
want
that's the kid with the big hair.
right. They
I
just
know
want
what
the
you're
guys
talking
that can spread the floor. That's
Talking
what they
about
want.
Jackson Davis,
Right.
Yes.
That's what I was talking about.
Yes,
Yeah.
Davis. Yeah.
Trace,
Trace, right. Yeah.
Indiana kid.
And he did the same thing with Wiseman. I know Wiseman gotten hurt a lot, but you drafted him for a reason because he can run up and down the floor, alley oops, and go get the ball. But then you wasn't playing him that much either.
Yeah, I'm
Well, let me ask you something. Not to cut y'all off, but what y'all feel about these Achilles tears happening so often now?
High top sneakers.
Dave, I'm with you 120%, brother.
Yeah.
I do not understand why these kids are still doing low tops, man.
Well, at least-
Especially when you trying to make a stop and move and you changing on that ankle right there.
on the
Come
dot.
on, man.
People
You gotta have them high tops, man.
At least have an ankle brace.
Oh, it's a
At least.
PF block.
Oh yeah, listen. Don't y'all remember? Y'all remember when Steph Curry first came into the league?
Yeah.
He got his ankles all messed up.
Yeah, he did.
And he had to always wear an ankle brace every time he played. Every time still to this day, he still wears them.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because in fact, his ankles was messed up when he first came into the league.
Yeah, I remember that.
I would take
Yo, come on, man.
People were
These
questioning
kids don't know, man.
because he was always
Right.
getting hurt with the ankles.
That's why you gotta do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, these kids are something else, man. Everybody want low top. Come on, man. Get out of here with that.
Yeah.
He should
Well, they
be in
got-
an ankle
They
commercial.
got the
shit.
3/4, but you do need the ankle support probably.
Yeah, it still don't have a
Yeah.
support on the 3/4.
Right.
You don't think they get taped up?
I think
Yeah,
it would
I don't think so. I don't think they want to get it taped up. I have no idea why they don't.
Most players get taped up, man. Come on. Most
I don't know,
I
man.
think they
A
get
lot,
taped
a
up. but I
lot of
think
it
the
too
brace.
is where's the Achilles tearing at? Because it
Right.
could tear at the top or it could tear at the ankle. It doesn't have to. It could
heel.
tear by the calf.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask y'all something. When y'all saw that replay, right, with Halliburton, you saw how his knee buckled and snapped? And it was because of the Achilles. If you look in slow mo, it looks so bad. If you see the slow mo, he took that step, and you just see all of a sudden his knee shift like it just popped,
We got
and he just
we got an
collapsed.
expert right here to my
But
right.
you
You can
just-
ask about that.
You can look at
Yeah.
Durant when he got hurt. All them guys had the same reaction.
Dave had it.
I was trying to cross somebody on defense, right? And the
You
dude
was?
took off on me.
Yo, wait, hold on. Did you hear Greg say you what?
You
I was
was?
trying to cross somebody on the defense.
Yo, all I remember was you like, who hit me?
Yeah, I didn't have the ball.
Yo, it was crazy. It was like, yo, who hit me? He turned around. I was like, nobody hit you.
Nobody did you.
Picked me up and carried me to the hospital.
Yo, Dave, you the only guy I know that got an Achilles tear without having the ball.
No. Hey, he's
Durant,
not.
Klay Thompson,
Wait.
Kyrie Irving, they was
Whoa.
gonna make a move.
Wait, Serge.
Backing up.
Serge, he's number 2 because Alvin had the same problem.
Yep.
When we was in the other gym, he was
That's
running
right.
backwards.
Wait a minute.
And his
I
pop,
forgot.
he was like, yo, who hit me? We all started
really?
laughing. Yeah.
Say who hit me.
So,
Oh shit! Oh, pardon me. Oh man.
we don't make as much money as those guys.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say,
true.
I'm
Yeah.
okay. I'm okay.
That must be the gym doing
I'm
y'all.
okay with that.
Yeah, Alvin was
I
backpedaling,
remember that.
and he and 2 different gyms backpedaling, and he fell to the ground. Was like, "Yo, who hit me?" And we all was like, "What?" We bust out laughing, and then somebody was like, "Yo, it's Achilles."
These guys are
Oh man.
It was crazy.
They're not NBA.
That happened at St. Gabe's.
David Al.
This happened at St. Gabe's.
No, his happened at the gym over
Two
there
different gyms.
when we
No.
had the tournament.
No,
Yes, we did.
At what tournament?
When we have the basketball
The church?
tournament. No, right there on
Yeah, that's where that.
that's where it
Where?
happened at. Right on
Rockaway Boulevard.
Rockwood
98th
Boulevard.
Street,
Right.
Okay,
Right.
but
Al happened at St. Gabe's.
no, Al's happened at over there off of the expressway at the school. That, yes,
That was at Kurt's gym.
No,
No.
by near Francis
Lewis
over
by
there.
Francis
That's
Lewis.
School 179.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Well,
that's where his happened at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
They
I remember that day though.
Yeah.
Him, I remember because we rolled him out in the chair one
They
day.
carried me straight to
We
the
put him in the
hospital.
chair and rolled him to the
yo,
elevator.
so you was like Paul Pierce, and they put you in a wheelchair. Wow.
Yeah, but Paul Pierce took a dump on himself.
Yeah,
That's why he's in the wheelchair. Come on, let's keep it real. We all found out now.
Yeah.
That's what happened. He had an accident on himself, and made it look like it was an injury.
But it's okay when you just think about it and put it in proper perspective. Maybe, all right, maybe some of it is it may not necessarily be the high tops. So, I mean, but you know, we need
Well, they
to-
said I don't know what podcast that is have 8 players have had Achilles tear in the last I don't know how many years, but before that it's been it ain't been
They
that
had
many,
7 this year.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris.
They had 7 this year.
So Chris, give us
Wow.
something else because we need to let somebody else get through what you got.
Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. That sounds good, man. Listen, I'm gonna have to come there on a Monday since I'm off on Mondays, man. I'm gonna have to come through, man.
Hold up, man. You still working?
Yo, man, you know what, man?
I don't know.
You know what? That's mad disrespectful, man. All right, you know, but I'm still younger than y'all. You know, I'm just saying.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah,
But I
you
still got love for y'all.
and
You know that.
Winston still working.
Listen, but I appreciate you working. Somebody's got to do it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All right, bro.
At least we know the money's still flowing. So thank you.
Well, listen, fellas. Always, I love all of y'all, man.
All right, be safe.
Let me know when you
Hit us
got
up
No
when you
doubt,
want to
yo.
come.
Y'all
Man.
be
Hit us
good.
up.
All right.
All right, bro. Later.
All right, bro.
All right, that was a great call.
Yeah, that was good. That was on time.
Billy Turner, Pinky Pinky Pink,
Pinky Pink.
Brenda Lewis, Cyrus Hairston, and again the silent assassin Everett Wilson. Say that they don't think high tops are the cause because they kick the ankles. So
The low tops.
Right. They don't
Low
tape
tops
their
are-
ankles. Man. Who's Pinky Pink?
you know Pinky, don't worry about
Okay.
it. You know
You,
her.
you don't know everybody,
You
sir.
know her. But anyway, what's up, Matt? Talk to us.
Yo, what's going on, family?
Yeah,
What up?
what's the
Dog,
deal,
Coach, really, Greg G in the house. Yo, shout out to everybody. Magnificent, I know you're not there. You know what I'm saying?
Tiny's here.
Shout out to everybody up there. Huh?
Tiny's here.
Okay. I didn't hear him.
Tiny's a
But,
superstar. You know, Tiny.
yo,
Tiny say.
and my brother Chris White, man. Yeah, man. Don't let them disrespect you like that and whatnot, man. Saying you still working, man. You much younger than us, man. You got a whole lot of years.
Man,
Good brother Chris White out
we
there,
trying to
man.
get-
You know what I'm
we
saying?
trying to get Chris to
Don't
come to the
disrespect my
show.
brother like that.
Listen, it wasn't no
My boy,
disrespect. It was
Mr.
all
Steve.
love.
We want Chris to come to the show.
Hey.
So he
It's
can
all
say
love.
his piece.
Yeah, he should.
It was
He
all
should.
love.
He
It was all
should.
love.
He's very knowledgeable. Very
All right,
knowledgeable,
man,
brother.
we
Whatnot.
got our eye on you
real
all the way in
quick.
Atlanta.
Yeah, I got
Shout
something
out
to say
to Ed
about the injuries, the Achilles injuries and whatnot. A perspective of most of those injuries. A lot of them they were already hurt, especially with the cast. I think they kind of rushed Halliburton back, Dame back. Even when
Tatum.
Durant had his first Achilles, yeah, he was injured, and they rushed him back for the playoffs and everything.
Right.
Klay Thompson, right?
Those
Right? They
dudes
kind
have
of
a
rushed him
say
back.
whether they
So
want to play
if
or
you're
not, too.
favoring your calf, that's going to put a strain on something else.
True.
And I think that's why these calves are popping and whatnot.
Yes, sir.
Because they had previous injuries. So you have to wait till your calf fully heal, because now you're going to put a strain on something else. And that's probably why these calves have been popping like that.
All right,
Because
hold
wasn't
on,
Halliburton
hold on.
hurt?
Hold
Right? He
on.
wasn't hurt during the series.
Hold on one second, Dr. Matt. We got another call. This person got a question for you. All right. The question is, so if you're feeling something
Dr.
going
Matt.
on wrong, what should you do? Not play? Or if you feel that you can give it a go?
And all them dudes got hurt in the playoffs.
Right.
So
Right.
that was a question for you,
Well,
Doc.
Agree.
Go ahead.
Halliburton's case, I'm playing. From what they was doing, I actually really think, this is my opinion, I think Indiana would have beat OKC had they played that whole game.
Could have.
I think they would've
We
beat
don't
them.
know. We don't know.
It was
know.
definitely.
Yeah,
It
we
would've
don't
been a
know.
good
Of
game.
course, we don't know.
It would have been
But
a good game.
it would have been a good game. So they had a chance to beat them, in my opinion.
True.
You know,
They
so I'm playing. If it was, that particular, every case is different. If I was Halliburton, yeah, I'm getting on the court. I'm going to fight it out with my boys, because they're not guaranteed that even ever get back there to the
Yeah,
finals.
but look, Durant. That was in the finals
Right.
against Toronto.
That was in the finals. I think they rushed him back.
Well, remember him
No.
and Clay got hurt.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
him and
Right.
Clay got
And
hurt.
we think they might have won if they didn't get hurt.
They
How about that?
The
Yeah.
only one that probably didn't make sense
Right.
was Dame Lillard, because
Right.
they wasn't going nowhere.
They wasn't
So
good, yeah.
Why play him? And he's an older player too,
Right.
so you really put him in a bad situation. You
Is
knew he
it?
was
Right.
injured.
Well, hold up.
Yeah, and
Hold on, Matt. So, like, is it really a bad situation where he probably don't want to be there? He's getting paid some money, and he might be able to make his own deal. Is it really a bad situation?
Well, now he loses money
look
because
at
now
the
he's
way,
hurt.
Look at the way it turned
You
out.
shouldn't get that
He
demand.
ended up getting hurt, and now
Right.
they waived him. He getting paid,
Yes.
but he's not going to be with the same squad
Right.
that he got hurt for.
Right.
So was it
His
worth
money-
getting hurt?
His
Well,
money
wait,
goes
wait,
down
wait
from
a
here
second.
now.
But he didn't want to go to Milwaukee, so
Wait a second. He gets to get out of there. So is it
Right.
really a bad situation?
He's in a favor. Dame is in a favorable position, if you ask me.
Financially, but now that
He gets to choose. He gets to choose what playoff team he want to rock out with if he comes back
right, 'cause
towards the end of the year.
That's the whole thing. He got a whole year that he's going to have to sit out, and then when he comes
Right.
back, he's going to be a year older, and
Right.
he's not a young player to
and he's
start
not
with.
demanding that
Is he
type of
going to
money.
be that kind of guy again? What kind of player are you getting again? Because Klay Thompson ain't the same player that he was before he got injured. Durant,
Right, he's a shell of himself. He's still effective
Durant
though.
is-
He's still
is
effective.
Still Durant, but Klay Thompson's effective every other third game. He really ain't effective, man. Be honest. He don't play every game well. He really doesn't. There's a lot of games
That's
where
true.
you watch Dallas.
Yeah.
He looks like he don't belong on the court.
True.
But there's other games where he all of a sudden he's
Right.
his old self. But every game in and out, no. Klay
Yeah.
Thompson ain't that guy no more.
Right. It's a
No, he's not.
It's a hard
But to my
injury to
point,
come back.
Milwaukee won. So maybe that victory has passed them by. I don't think that he was going to win. So maybe he could get to go to a team that might win, which is
Yeah, maybe.
part of the
Maybe,
caveat.
hopefully,
Maybe.
yeah. I mean,
Maybe he could be
Yeah.
a player off the bench on a team, but he's not going to be a star on a real good team anymore.
I look at it this way.
And if he don't go to OKC or Houston, he might not win a chip because them guys are going to be dominating the next couple of years.
He's looking like he's Chris Paul right now. If you ask me,
Yeah.
he's in that.
Or
area.
Russell Westbrook.
Well, yeah, he's not Russell, but he shoots better than Russell. Him and
Yeah, he
Chris,
shoot better.
him
But
and
he,
Chris Paul about the same right now. Like you would be happy with either one, I would think. You might lean towards Dame more, but Dame got hurt, so you don't
Dame
know.
is younger and Dame
But
probably
he got
shoots
hurt.
better than-
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I look
So-
at it this way. When those guys are playing, yes, they probably had calf injuries or whatever coming up to the time that they got hurt, but they're competitors. They want to play. And when you
They want to play.
right, and
They
if
want to
you
play,
leave
and
it
they
up
want
to
to have
them,
a chance to win the chip.
if you leave it up
And
to
be
them, they're going to play.
and be an impact for it.
Right at that particular time.
If I got
and you got a point, but if you Dame Lillard and you playing on Milwaukee, you know you don't have a chance to win no chip.
They wasn't
You
winning
playing-
that. They wasn't
they
winning
wasn't
that
gonna win.
series, right?
Not-
If
no,
they won
not-
that
not-
series, they wasn't going to win the next
So
series.
that's part
So
of the
why are
reason-
you putting yourself when you know you got an
But
injury?
as a competitor, you want to play. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
That's the
I
way
agree.
it is.
As a competitor, he wanted to play this playoff
Or
run.
you looking for an out?
He also remember they thought they was going to break this team up
Right.
because they thought Giannis was going to leave.
Right.
So he wanted to, be, as far as the players. This is where they earn their money. Guys like him, this is where they earn their money.
Giannis
Regular
is still
season is
leaving,
they already did that for their career.
but
Well,
maybe
They
not
trying
this
to earn
year.
their money
But
in the
none of
playoffs.
us, none
That's
of
why
us
they
too
rushed
would
him
have
back.
thought that Milwaukee would release him and pay him out over time, for the rest of the contract or whatnot, that they owe him. Nobody thought that Milwaukee
Right.
was going to do
so,
that.
so now, if I got a star point guard right now, and I can pick up Lillard, that's a good.
Well, you
to have
count
him there
you
with your
count
point
him
guard, that's good.
whatever, either like toward the end of the next season or that following
Right.
year. I got him, thing.
Right.
So they just
Right.
they're
Right.
working out.
You can't include him in the next year's season.
No,
He's not
you
going to
can't.
be effective for the next year's
Right.
season.
the
So
same
But if I
thing.
can grab
Yeah,
him,
any of those
like
guys.
how Schroeder's bounced around. If I can grab him,
Where did Schroeder go?
I don't know where he's at now, but if I can grab him like that and he can play that role, because he's still a solid point guard.
Right.
He's just not. He's not 24 no more.
Right.
He's 30. What is he? 35.
34, 35.
Yeah. So you know.
But he's a serviceable
But he's,
player.
right, he's solid. You
Yeah, it's solid.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wish
So
the
I
Knicks
would
would
feel
have
bad.
picked him up.
Yeah, he would. That would be perfect if he
Yeah.
went to the.
He would have been perfect as a backup
Right,
point
right.
He
guard.
go to
Very,
Brooklyn.
very
Y'all got room for him?
Speaking of the Knicks, let me get my real comment out real quick, and then y'all
All right.
can kick it, right? I like what they did as far as the two new players, Clarkson and Ubaselli. I like those two players. One offense, one a big body in defense. It's also an interchangeable part with Hart. Hart can be 6-man. His role can be 6-man, and as far as I'm concerned, Mike Brown, jury said out on him. I don't know. He can, feast or famine. I don't know what type of
Hold
coach
on,
he's
man. We
gonna
got
be
another
with this
call
team.
coming in. Hold on. Hold on. Wait a second. Mike Brown on the line. He want to talk to you.
Yeah.
And listen,
Yeah.
Matt, that was my line for Thibodeau ever since they hired him, that the jury's still out. And guess what?
Jury's still out, man.
The jury's still out on Thibodeau. And he getting $30 million. I need to call him and tell him, unleash that. Give that back. You fired again. No jury's still out. Ain't no jury
I
still
hope Mike
out
Brown do
on
a good
Matt-
job.
Mike Brown.
I really do. I hope he does a good job. I hope he does more than what's expected of him, especially with the East being as weak as it is. The Knicks should be the number 1 or 2 team next
More
year.
than what they expect of him is to be in the finals. Then
There's always surprises in the league. every year.
finals. Maybe.
Always surprises. I think
Yeah, we
I
gotta
think
get-
Atlanta's going
we
to be
gotta get to the finals.
Atlanta's going to be what Cleveland did this year, in my opinion.
Atlanta and Orlando, you got to watch out for those two teams.
So you don't think Cleveland is gonna
What's
come
Kitty
back?
doing, Serge? What's Kitty doing?
You think
I don't know.
it was a
Cleveland-
fluke?
I don't think Cleveland's going to be. I think Cleveland was able to be a dark horse all of last season. I think teams are going to attack Cleveland now because they know what they're getting with them. They're no longer going to be like that hidden team that's going to rise up. I think it's going to be Orlando or Atlanta.
They
But
got,
the
they
Knicks
got
have
Lonzo Ball.
You know what? They're gonna be good all the way to the second round when Donovan Mitchell's gonna stop showing up and they're gonna not win. That's his whole.
Hey, no, it wasn't his fault. It wasn't Donovan Mitchell's fault. It's
But he
theory.
didn't help.
I don't believe.
But he's always his whole career he's been to the second round and never got any further.
Well, look, also.
Yeah, but it wasn't because of his lack of playoff production.
Yeah, I would
He's
say
been
that
effective
too.
in the playoffs.
What's the name? Remember, the other point guard was hurt.
Garland.
Right, he was
Garland
hurt.
got
Right.
So that did
that's
affect
what
him.
hurt him.
Yeah, that hurt
But
him.
Cleveland's always been not tough enough, and so like when it gets push comes to shove, they kind of wilted
I'm saying your
because the
favorite-
Knicks did it to them.
Mobley got hurt
Indiana
too.
did-
Second or
Indiana
third
did it
game.
to 'em.
That hurt them
Huh?
too.
Favorite coach.
You know that's their favorite coach, man.
Who?
Oh, you talking about what's his coach? His coach, his boy.
Kenny Atkinson.
Yeah, but he wasn't there the previous year.
Well, the pressure's on them now because
Right.
they had the best
Right,
record.
right. They're not gonna sneak up on nobody
Yeah,
anymore.
But I think they
So
still going to
that's
be
why-
good. I think they
They
still going to be
expecting
good.
I'm pretty sure Cleveland expecting them to win it this year.
And didn't that other guard
Yeah,
off
next
the
year.
bench, the shooter, didn't he leave?
Ty
Levert?
Jerome.
Jerome left.
yes.
Yeah,
No.
but they picked up Alonzo Ball.
Okoro, they faded for Okoro too. Okoro's not there no
Lonzo
more.
Ball's not
I like
there.
his game.
Right, I was saying
Right.
Lonzo could have been.
Kid, what?
He could have been with the Knicks like that. He could have been.
Lonzo get hurt. I don't trust. I wouldn't
Oh,
trust. I
okay.
ain't trust no guy get hurt too much.
Lonzo ain't
Yeah.
starting, right? He's not
Nah,
starting.
he gonna come
He
up
ain't
there.
gonna
He's
start.
coming off the bench. That's what I'm
If
saying. He
Cleveland
can come behind
if
Brunson.
Cleveland trades the point guard, they stupid.
right,
Garland?
right.
They're
You
not
talking about no?
It
It
was out there that they might trade her. I don't think they will, but they.
No, they're
stupid
not
if
gonna
they-
trade Garland. They ain't gonna trade Garland.
I
That's
No, they should run it back.
I would.
Yeah, they got to run it back.
So Matt, let me ask you what I asked Coach Kirk before you call.
Okay.
Would you take LeBron at this late stage of the game?
who I'm giving up.
You're
He
getting.
ain't coming here for free. Who I'm giving.
Whoever you're
I mean,
giving up,
Carl
would
Anthony
you take?
Towns.
I'll take LeBron or Bridges, and they can take Hart. I'll do that.
All right, and Bronny's coming with you, with him.
Forget it.
No, it's a package deal. Wait a minute, it's a package deal.
Listen, LeBron to come here and they win a chip here, and yeah, almost except for Brunson and Anunoby. Everybody else is fair game if you get LeBron.
What about
I think he
Towns?
could be that Pete.
What about Carl Anthony Towns?
You can't give up Towns.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, Carl Anthony can go. He can go for LeBron because I believe LeBron brings
I wouldn't.
the intangibles that for this Knicks team to win a chip. You can get rid of Carl because if you have an effective Mitchell Robinson. So if Mitchell Robinson is playing the way that they need him to play, yeah, Carl can go.
All right, man.
Carl Bridges can go.
All right, Matt. I just want to know what the temperature is out there in Atlanta like.
Hot.
And make his free throws.
Yeah, Atlanta. I think we're about 90, 91, something like
All
that.
right, bro.
Yeah.
Well, listen.
When's the last time Mitchell Robinson been healthy a whole
Mr.
season?
Robinson
man?
is
Come on.
not the
Yeah,
answer.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking you might
You
have
guys are
too much
crazy.
sun. Mitchell Robinson.
Look, you got to replace the center. That Mitchell Robinson got to fit in there somewhere. Then we got Ubaselli. So
You was
we got enough scoring. We got
And
Carlson.
we got
Come
Hooker
on, man.
Porty.
So he playing small ball.
We got Hooker Porty.
That's what teams are playing now. There's no big man in basketball anymore.
How did
Small
that work?
ball and defensive.
How did that work for Golden State this year?
Mm.
And would you take Ben Simmons for the Knicks? Would
So
you take
I think Golden State would have went another round or two further had not Curry got hurt. So that small ball was effective in Golden State. They was on their way to upsetting another team, in my opinion, had not Curry got hurt. So that small ball is effective. And there's no. The only big man team out there that was playing big, in my opinion, was Houston. They broke that team up. I think if Houston don't win the championship in the next 2 years, they gave up too much because Green and Brooks for two effective players to let them go for 2 years, they better win a chip. But they gave up too much, in my opinion.
You know what?
They got a good team, but we'll see.
I tell you what Houston problem was last year. They didn't have a go-to guy when the game is close down the stretch. Let's get the ball to him. Give me a bucket. They didn't have that. Green is a wild card player. He's exciting.
He's good, athletic. He's good.
Right, but he's not.
Van Fleet wasn't supposed to be that dude.
No,
he wasn't supposed to be that dude.
Van Fleet is not that guy. Green was their up and coming player, but Green is also erratic.
Exactly.
Right, and so that's the problem. So now you got a guy. Give me the ball. I can get you and get out the way. I can get 2 points. You got a guy. So you give up. You got to give up something to get something. He is a Hall of Fame player. He's still scoring on the top level. So you give up.
But he's also a rental for the next 2 years. So if they don't win a chip in the next 2 years, then you can't expect him to be that guy anymore. As far as Durant is concerned.
Wait, he's still that guy now. You probably said the same thing 2-3 years ago about him.
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily, because
he didn't win. Well,
he is an extraordinary scorer. You know, but
Houston,
you better put a whole lot of defense around him. Look, they had a lot of scoring in Phoenix. You can't get much better scoring than him and Booker on the floor. But if you don't have no supporting cast defensively, you can have all the scoring in the world. But if you can't stop nobody, then you can score 140. Other teams going to score 145. That was Phoenix' problem.
Houston was one of the top defensive teams in the league last year.
Okay, and they still got a Min Thompson. They still got him.
Green was not the reason why they were a great defensive team.
Exactly. Yeah, but Brooks had a lot to do with that. Brooks is a defensive player.
They still got Thompson. They still got Jabari Smith.
Right.
They still got Sengun. They still got Steve Adams.
Houston got a great team, but the problem with Houston is this: Denver improved. Golden State's going to be better. The West is filled with great teams.
Okay,
so
the West the West was great last year. So I mean,
the West is great every year. So for the last 20 years.
All right, so let's keep it simple. Where do you see Houston being? Do you see them dropping down, or do you see them back in the number 2 seed?
I see them right where they are, 2 or 3. I think Denver and OKC are the top 2 teams as far as I'm concerned. Houston is the other teams, those 2 teams.
And as Will Cox just added on, that they did sign Clint Capella, so they're gonna be a decent team.
Who? Houston?
Yeah,
I think they're gonna be a decent team, but not top 2. Top 2, in my opinion, is Denver and OKC.
I don't see where did Denver get better.
Oh, they got Cam
Johnson. Check their roster. They got Bruce Bowen back.
Yeah, Cam Johnson
is a couple years.
They got Cam Johnson.
Excuse me, that's Bruce Brown. All right, thank you.
You say Bobby?
Oh yeah, Bruce Brown.
Bruce Bowen.
Bruce Bowen is in a bow tie somewhere in one of the NBA studios.
About our age. He ain't playing no more.
Shout out to Mike G.
They signed. They got Jonas.
All right, fellas.
They got Jonas.
But I know the line.
He's threatening to go overseas.
Yeah.
Right. He's trying to go to All right, Matt.
He saves Matt.
Yo, I got some.
All right, brothers. Y'all.
I got some trivia. Want to get down with the trivia?
Here we go.
All right, y'all ready?
Be ready.
Okay.
What is it? Baseball, football, basketball?
I got a mixture of everything.
Right,
okay.
Tell us what you started off with.
Only NBA player to win the Rookie of the Month every month, but did not win Rookie of the Year.
Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, you're right.
That's an easy question.
Carmelo.
Right. He lost to LeBron.
He lost to LeBron, but he was Rookie of the Month every month of the season.
That's how you know the fix is in.
Every month.
Anyway.
And you look at his stats was better than LeBron.
Right. The fix was in.
Right. Well,
that's
the hype.
why Lala got them high rolls on these shows. What do you think?
Wow.
Okay. Name the only 2 sports where the offense does not get the ball to start the game. Don't y'all answer all at
Baseball.
once.
No.
Baseball is one. The home team plays the field, plays defense first. The other one you ain't getting, so let's go to the next question.
What's the other one?
Cricket. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Well, we had to think about it.
Yeah.
So I got a half a point.
What
baseball.
baseball?
Nobody was picking
Nobody's picking cricket.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. This is a tough
Well, we
one.
heard the crickets. I think
That was
All
the
right,
answer.
this is a tough one. college teammates to go 1 and 2 in the draft.
The O'Bannon brothers.
Nope.
I know.
No.
1 and 2.
1 and 2
College team.
college teammates.
Only one.
Only one.
Oh.
Louisville?
Nope. This is all. It's a tough
you want
one.
you want the names, or you want the names?
Well, if we could get half of it.
If I
right?
give you the college, then you might get it.
Yeah,
but
you might get it.
Major college.
Worthy and Perkins.
huh?
Worthy and Perkins.
That's a good try, but no.
Bro.
That's a good.
Shout out to John Wilson. My pop's watching. All right, thank you.
What's up, Mr.
What's
Wilson?
up,
How you
Mr.
doing,
Wilson?
man?
All right, thank you. Eric Wilcox said UCLA.
Huh?
UCLA.
That's what he just said. Yeah, but that
He
wasn't-
said UCLA.
no.
No.
Nope. It's a tough one.
Great team.
It's a tough one. I give you a hint. One of the guys is still playing.
Oh, so it's recent.
One of the guys is still
So
playing in the league.
I'm thinking back in the days.
Yeah, one of the guys is still playing in the league.
Oh, so it's recent.
Wow.
It's a tough question.
Connecticut.
No, it's
Nope.
Kentucky.
Yes, it is Kentucky.
I knew it was Kentucky.
That's Kentucky.
Because it got to be one of them Carl Anthony Towns and somebody. Michael Gilchrist.
Yeah,
King.
Anthony Davis, Michael Kidd,
Oh,
Gilchrist.
Anthony Davis.
Yeah, they went 1 and 2.
Well, that was.
And Gilchrist was a wash.
Yeah.
And he was nice in
But
college.
he was a number
Okay.
2 pick behind Davis.
If I name the records, I want you to name the player. This is baseball now.
Ricky Henderson.
Oh my god.
4,256 hits.
Ty Cobb.
Pete Rose.
Oh, Pete Rose.
Yes. 130 stolen bases.
Ricky
Very good.
Henderson.
232 walks in a season.
Aaron Judge.
Nope.
Barry Bonds.
There you go.
I would have known Ricky Henderson, but I don't know.
2,632 consecutive games.
Cal
Ripken.
Ripken.
Very good. 511 wins.
Cy Young.
Very good. 191 ribbies in a season.
Hank Greenberg.
Hank Wilson.
Wilson.
Yeah.
I knew it was Hank.
Somebody.
Yeah.
Hank. Somebody.
262 hits in a season.
Ooh.
Ichiro.
There you go. Very good. 56 game hitting streak.
Joe DiMaggio.
There you go.
Maggio.
2 consecutive no hitters.
Oh wow.
Vandermeer.
Ooh, very good.
Wait, who he played
I would
for?
have known
Yeah,
Cincinnati
very
Reds.
good.
Reds?
Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah, very good.
Serves as some super
Hold on.
fast.
I gave Serge all them.
Thank you, Dave.
I
Thank
would've
you
got
for
Rick-
slipping them under the
I got
table,
Ricky
Dave.
Henderson and DiMaggio,
I
but
was,
he
I was
so
looking
quick.
at Dave's glasses. I could see the answers.
Exactly. I gave Serge all them.
Yeah, this shit
Thank you,
really
Dave.
fast.
I appreciate you, Dave.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Name the top 5 states that have, out of all the major sports, that have won the most championships.
New York.
New York is number 1.
Illinois.
Illinois is number 5.
L.A.
Yeah, California.
California is
Cali.
number 2.
Because they got Mad City.
He said
Pennsylvania.
state,
Pennsylvania is
sir.
number 4.
California.
Pennsylvania's number 4. So how many?
Pennsylvania is number
No.
4.
Florida.
Everything put together.
No, but he said LA.
I said top
No,
5.
Oh, you
Missouri.
talking to him. I think you're talking to me.
California.
No.
Yeah, Cali
Not
got
Kansas City.
Hold up. 5.
How many
Top
left?
5. You named 4 already. You named 1, 2, 4. and
1
5.
was New York. 2
1 was New York. 2 was California.
Yeah.
4 was
I knew that,
Pennsylvania.
so I don't know what
5 was Illinois. You need number 3.
Texas.
No, Texas is number 8. But
Boston,
Massachusetts.
there you go.
Yeah.
There you
I
go.
was giving. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This one's an older player, but let's see whether you know. Serge probably seen him pitch. Pitcher threw a no hitter and hit 2 home runs in the same game.
You asked this question before.
And we
did?
forgot it.
I did.
I remember.
And
this
we done
question.
forgot it.
I was sitting.
Are
on
you
the
sitting
side.
over
So
there?
sometimes he
Steve
has to.
Carlton.
No.
Yeah, sometimes you
Bob
gotta
Gibson.
say it again.
No, it was a
Forgot
different
it.
question. But okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Bob Gibson.
No, it's not Bob Gibson. Bob Gibson hit no 2 home
No,
runs in
I
the
don't
same game.
think so.
We forgot it, kid. It was like Vita Blue or something, right?
Vida Blue hit a home run
Okay, I knew it
and
was
pitched a
something
no
like
hit,
that.
but this guy hit 2 home runs in
2
the game.
home runs.
It
And
wasn't.
So it is
It
different.
wasn't
So it
Stewart.
is different.
No, it
It
wasn't Dave
It
Stewart.
is different because
It's
that was
different.
the original question.
Right.
That was
Oh,
the
I
first
thought we
question.
heard this
Yeah.
Mark
question.
Fitzgerald.
No, it was
No.
two. He said 2 home runs now. It was one.
John
of them.
Candelaria.
No.
Was it a knuckleballer?
Did he pitch a knuckleball? I think he
What
did.
team he played for?
Hoyt Wilhelm?
No.
Phil Negro.
No.
Joe Negro.
No. Rick Wise.
Who's
I was
that?
getting ready to get there.
I knew you was.
Cleveland.
I did. I thought you. I saw the,
What year
the
was that?
reflection on your
What
on your
year was
glasses.
that?
In the 70s.
In the
Yeah,
70s.
'70s.
Think with
Oh,
Philly. I think
Philly.
he was with
Yeah,
Philly.
I was there.
You stupid. Yeah, I hear you all over there.
That's it.
That's it.
Oh,
What they said they wasn't born yet?
He
Yeah.
said
I heard that.
about
He
he
said-
was 3.
Yeah.
In 70, what year
I
you
said-
said?
I said,
What year you said?
It was in the
He
70s.
said in the 70s. That's what he said.
He was born in 66, so he was at least 4. He said 3, and I wasn't
It
born.
was
We
only 7 in the 80s, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I heard y'all saying mumbling over here. and shit.
like what?
Yo,
Okay.
man.
I even cursed. I hope no one heard me.
All right.
Oh,
So
man.
Wimbledon. Who? Wimbledon.
Wilmington.
I stopped watching after all the blacks went out. That's
That's not nice.
Yeah, I
The
stopped
second
watching.
day.
That's
That
not
was the
nice.
second day.
I know.
This tennis is good to watch. I like watching it.
tennis, but I stopped watching it. I
I'll
do,
be
man.
stopping to
My
watch.
interest is not as high.
The number
as-
one
yeah.
guy was going to get upset today by the Russian kid, but the Russian kid got hurt.
Oh,
And
get out.
yeah,
Oh, he got hurt again?
Yeah,
Wow.
Dimitrov got hurt.
Really? Because that's his 5th tournament in a row now.
Getting hurt.
Wow.
They were saying that the last 4 tournaments he went out in
Yeah, he
whatever
was-
round.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And he
They
was
got
beating
center.
center when I
Yeah,
left.
beating center.
2 games,
Yeah.
2
Then
sets
he got
to
hurt.
0.
Wow.
And they was in the 3rd set when I left. They were
Yep.
just started. He got hurt.
Wow.
Wow.
Damn.
He was putting it on center
What
too.
was,
Yeah,
what's-
damn.
what was his injury?
Alcaraz won? Is he in the
Yeah,
semifinals?
he's still ain't up to
Oh,
semifinals.
quarterfinals.
yet.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He still won. Yeah,
Is he
yeah,
getting
yeah.
the same injury over and over again? Or?
The last 4, I don't know. The last 4, they said he was out. They were talking about him.
Injured pectoral muscle.
Wow.
Oh, so that's his stomach, right?
Yeah.
That's the groin.
I thought that was a.
groin?
I thought
Oh,
that
that's
was
for
a-
the
chest,
shoulder.
the chest.
Yeah, the
Pectoral,
pecs.
the
Yeah,
pec.
chest.
Oh, pectoral.
So-
Okay.
They should narrow it down by.
What you
Yep,
mean?
it says the 5th consecutive
Yeah,
Grand Slam.
'cause they
where
talk
he
about
failed to
today.
Complete a match.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
So
tough.
when should it be over? Should be waning
Did-
down to.
This
Sunday.
This weekend.
Sunday, this
Sunday.
weekend, yeah.
This
That
2
dude
weeks.
moves to the
It's 2
next
weeks.
round because of the injury.
Right.
And then what's after that? U.S. Open after that?
It's
Yeah.
in August.
Yeah.
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 Wow.
The next major.
That-
is the
That's
US
got to
Open.
be frustrating, man.
That's the last one of the season.
That's got to be frustrating.
Yeah, the
He
major.
It's
just
Yeah.
Australian, French,
seems to be that
Wimbledon,
good.
and U.S.
Okay. Does anybody know all the majors for golf?
It's the
What?
Masters, the U.S. Open, the PGA Championship,
British Open.
and the British.
Ain't that French? Oh, that's tennis. That's tennis.
That's
No,
tennis.
it's the British.
It's the British Open,
Masters,
right.
U.S. Open,
Where's
and
the-
the PGA Championship.
So the other 3 play in the United
In
States.
the U.S., yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
British Open.
And the Mar-a-Lago charity game. Donate your money.
The Mar-a-Lago. If you're
So you
if
said-
you're un-American, you can't go there.
You said British, Masters, U.S., French.
No, not French.
To my baseball?
No.
I mean, to my golf.
The PGA
PGA
Championship.
Championship.
PGA, and it's 4 or 5.
4. U.S. Open,
Got it.
PGA Masters, and the British.
British Open.
So Tiger's a thing of the past, right? Is he
Oh
still-
yeah, he's
Yeah, that's so. That's
he's
done.
done.
Hmm.
He ain't coming back off all
Yeah,
limits
yeah.
no more.
Once he got that in that accident, that was
I was
it.
actually
was it.
surprised he won.
Yeah,
He did win after, yeah.
After the back
Right.
injury.
Yeah,
He got one more out of there.
yeah, he
so,
got one more,
Mhm.
but that was it.
Yeah, but
Now,
that was- yeah,
now
that
every
was-
time he play, he get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he pretty
Be
much done.
surprised the senior circuit. He might.
Yeah, he might come
move
back
up
in the
a
senior
little.
circuit.
Is Phil Mickelson still? Is he still golfing?
No, I don't think
No?
so. I haven't seen him.
I haven't
He's
seen him
golfing,
either.
but he just ain't winning.
Yeah. No,
So-
you might be right. Yeah,
No, I
yeah, he
think
probably
is
playing.
golfing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he ain't winning.
He just
yeah.
ain't. Yeah.
He just ain't.
He ain't,
that
he
guy
ain't
no
making.
more.
He ain't
Okay.
making a cut. Right.
All these young boys done stepped up on him.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
That happens to everybody.
Yeah.
So what
Fa-
we need
Father
to
Time.
what we need to discuss in the up and coming weeks, like for us, college basketball, NIL money, like how much money do they get? How is it spent? Like the universities, like they get a certain amount of money, and how they allocate that money, and that's outside with the exception of kids being signed as sneaker deals, whatever the case, or endorsements,
So
things of that nature.
Are all the schools getting the same money to go to plays?
The major schools get the bigger bucks, of course.
Don't the conference get the whole money? They divvy it up, right?
Congress just passed a bill, and I think something about $20 million, but that's not gonna be enough to pay them kids.
That can't be for what pays per school. I mean per sport.
A basketball program, I believe, is $11 million.
I'm gonna have to do my research. I'm gonna do my research and look into that stuff. Yeah.
Right, because
they said that it's been the revenue sharing plan with a capped amount that schools can allocate for NIL money starting at $20.5 million for next year, and they're going to increase every year after that. So the cap is 20.5 that the individual schools can give out. But like Dave said,
that's all sports though, right?
There's also sneaker deals. There's all kind of deals that these guys could make on the side.
Right.
On
that's
top of
part
that, that the school has nothing to really do with.
Right.
But that they probably can steer people towards. And they're going to steer people. They're going to probably say, okay, yeah, we can only give you $2 million, but if you come here, we work with Nike. Nike will hook you up. Some, there's always some under the table.
Nonsense. Didn't it used to be like whatever the school? I mean, that like the school had a contract with certain sneaker companies, and that's what they wearing.
Yeah, they still do that.
Okay, so then could you wear something different other than what the
Cooper Flag signed with New Balance, but Duke is a Nike school, and he had to wear Nike sneakers just like Zion did when he blew out them Nike sneakers when he was on the court.
They had them in Timberlands.
You got to wear the sneaker for the school.
For the school,
even though you endorsing a whole different school,
right?
A whole different brand.
Okay.
So now he's a pro, and he's gonna be wearing, I guess, New Balance.
New Balance,
he's a New Balance guy.
Yeah, I see him in the commercials. Yeah.
How many we got Kawhi Leonard.
Right.
There's a few other.
The guy in Philadelphia, he's a New Balance guy.
Maxi.
Yeah, Maxi. And then sometimes they had that girl on there.
One I never understood is Stephon Curry with Under Armour. Why?
Oh.
Why would you sign with Under Armour?
I told you why. Because he had a conference, a meeting with Nike, and they called him Stephen or something, Stephon, and they had a KD real tape up. And when he seen that, he left.
Oh,
they didn't have his stuff set up for him.
So he got offended.
Yeah, he got offended. He jetted.
Oh,
That's how he left. That's how he never came to Nike.
Did you end up with Under Armour?
Yeah, I guess Under Armour was the next best thing.
Adidas?
I like Under Armour.
Well, they paying him good enough money
for sneakers.
They paying him good enough
for sneakers. Like
I don't get it. I don't.
That's what happened.
He got a sneaker endorsement, and I'm sure he wears the gear along with it. But as good as Steph Curry is, and as much as these kids want to emulate him,
he should have.
My grandson ain't never asked me for a pair of Steph Curry.
That's what happened.
He ain't never asked me for them.
I don't see no kids on my team wearing no Under Armour.
Right.
Sneakers, not sneakers.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Them kids don't wear it.
Right, yeah.
I can't for the life of me. It blows my mind.
Nike blew
I get it that but still Adidas.
Right, he could have went to
New Balance,
Converse,
anybody.
Right.
My God, you went to Under Armour. Nobody wears Under Armour sneakers.
I'm not trying to defend it, but like, how much did he get?
I'm sure he got.
I'm sure he getting paid. But you would think that.
I think it's working for him.
Who else is an Under Armour representative?
It don't even matter. They
do a commercial. They got Steph Curry out there.
What time?
Not like New Balance, where you got Shohei.
Right.
You got Cooper. You got the girl Brink or whatever.
Right.
You got,
all right, but what time the bank open and what time it closed?
Yeah, well,
that's all.
He got paid.
That's all that's important.
Yeah, that's all he cared about. He got paid.
You got to start somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah.
Somebody's got to.
Well, he been with them for a while, so man.
Yeah. Quite some time.
Yeah, he's been with him for a good while.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you said, because like you said, the kids ain't wearing Under Armour sneakers.
I just looked it up.
And
his contract?
Yeah, he got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well, you got a lifetime contract of Under Armour.
It says that.
Google the sales, what they did.
Now, what you
said is a long term with Under Armour potentially worth over $1 billion.
Oh wow!
For his lifetime, potentially.
Yeah, like
It
Tiny
says-
said, what's the sales like
It says
compared
the-
to the other sneaker deals
Right.
or whatnot?
It says the initial deal was $4 million a year, while his current contract, including the extension, is estimated to be worth $215 million. So,
I don't see nobody in the Curry camp complaining.
but you know, they got shirts, they got shorts.
Yeah, I mean,
they got
yeah.
socks.
Apparel.
The apparel,
Right,
yes.
apparel, right.
The apparel
So-
is big,
right,
much
so-
bigger than the sneaker.
right. So,
Oh, much.
Well, yeah, what was the sneaker sales?
Right.
I don't even know.
I'm sure that their sneaker sales compared to the other ones is not up. Not as big as
There's
that.
nowhere near
What
that.
was it last year?
I don't know. I didn't look it up. I'm looking for the stat guy to look it up here, man.
Oh, shout out to James,
That ain't me.
Darcy, Davis, Bernard, Paul watching. All right, so
Oh, man.
that's cool.
Sneaker sales last year.
That's something to think about, though.
You know Nike's on top, 29 billion.
yeah. I actually see 51 billion in 2024.
For what? Nike?
I see almost 9 times of Under Armour's top line of 5.7 billion.
Okay, let's put it like
I mean,
this.
a billion is a billion.
I'm looking at the top.
Hold
I'm
on.
looking at the
Hold on.
top
Could you-
sneakers.
Could you ding ding
And,
ding ding ding?
and you got
Sound guy,
you
come
got
on.
Nike, Adidas, New Balance, Converse, Jordan, Skechers, Pumas, Vans. You don't see Under Armour on
Wow.
the list.
Vans?
Vans and Skechers
Yeah, but a lot of
sell
people
more
wear
sneakers than
Yeah,
Under
they're
Armour.
them kids are doing
Yeah,
skateboards instead.
them
No,
skateboards.
but
And
a lot of
just to
regular
just to
people
chill,
wear
yeah,
them, yeah.
chill sneakers, yeah.
Where's Air Jordans at?
Jordan
number
was
one, right?
no,
No.
they number 4.
Number
4 or 5.
Slipped a
Are
little.
They're
are
behind
part
New
of
Balance.
Nike?
They
No,
got
he by
35% of the market.
Yeah.
Converse and New Balance is 40. Adidas 58. Nike is blowing past all of them.
Right.
Puma's 34 and Vans is 33. From what?
Interesting.
Oh, that's
now,
right. Jordan's
Puma,
a separate brand. from
let's just say, and
Forgot
remember,
about
Walt Frazier used to
Clyde.
be.
Yeah,
I
I got a pair of those in my closet.
Yeah, I got
Let
a
'em
pair.
go.
Why?
Are they
When
Clyde?
was the last time you
Mine's
wore
is
yeah,
Clyde,
What-
yeah.
Clyde
when the
was
last-
one of the first to
when the
wear
last
his
time
own
I wore
deal
them?
Yeah.
on the side.
about maybe 2 months ago.
them? Okay.
In
Yeah,
fact, look that up. Clyde was one of the first.
mine's is mine's is patent leather. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I got a blue pair.
Two,
Clyde.
like 3 years.
Suede?
Yeah,
Okay,
blue
that-
suede
Well,
Pumas.
is he still part of the deal, or were you?
Oh, I don't know. On the
how
on
long
the
do you own those sneakers?
I said like like 3 years, but on the box it says it says his name on them. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe he's still getting the deal.
I hope so for his sake. Yeah, sure. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What year did they start producing on Under Armour sneakers?
That was a while ago.
Mhm.
Before COVID, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah,
I would think so. I think like Jordan was making more money off the Air Jordans than he was. I mean, off the Nike than he was salary wise.
Right, he was.
That man was making $1 million and something.
Ain't that? Yeah.
That's why he
Ain't
would.
that
That's
crazy?
why he
That's
took.
crazy.
That's why he took some. I didn't think that's why he took some of the deals he took.
Yeah.
You know, with
Puma
the,
Clyde's
with
been
the
around
Bulls.
since 1973.
73.
But are they still selling as
Yeah, they
Puma
still
Clyde?
sell them.
Because
Puma
I
Clydes.
see Pumas, but I don't see.
No, mine said,
I got
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I remember back in the day, I used to wear ponies. And, I loved that. I used to love my ponies. Yeah, Saucony.
Under Armour's first sneaker was 2006. They were football cleats.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that a lot of football
Yeah,
players
they-
wears
They probably sell more football stuff
right.
than they do
Right.
anything
Well,
else.
is
Their
it
first
any
their
other-
first running shoe was in 2009.
Puma Clyde's are $95.
2009.
Is there any other NBA athlete wearing
Under Armour?
Under Armour?
Nah,
I'm sure they are.
nah, I don't.
NBA athletes endorsed by Under Armour.
Not the sneakers.
Shout out to Teddy Riley also.
What up, Ted? That's crazy, though.
De'Aaron Fox and Davion Mitchell.
That's
Okay.
it.
That's the only 3 I see.
Not exactly.
Okay.
I see.
Damn, Fox is a
I
big
see.
man, but
I see Joel Embiid, Mo Bamba,
Joel Embiid wear Under Armour?
Seth Curry, Garland, and Jarvis Walker.
That's not bad.
Joel Embiid wears Under Armour?
Yeah, Embiid
Really?
also has a signature shoe line under the Under Armour brand. It's a
Oh, yeah,
key line.
Joel
Okay.
Embiid.
Mm, okay.
All right. Well, Listen,
Don't call it a
But since when
comeback.
you
Once
see-
upon a
since when you
time, we
see-
only had Steph Curry. Now,
No, I was gonna
knowledge is
say-
the key.
we don't usually see the center sneaker out there.
Right. You
Like
know, you see
Ewings.
Embiid in a commercial anyway.
I usually see the guard sneaker.
Right.
Yo, but you remember Patrick
Yeah,
had
Ewings, that's what I said. Ewings had sneakers.
Ewing had
Who wore them?
sneakers. Shaq had sneakers.
Yeah, but who wore them?
What do you wear? You wear size 14?
Yeah.
They still selling Ewings?
You can find them at VIM.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, okay, VIM.
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
I don't think they
I
sold
don't
it
even know
good.
what VIM meant now. VIM is still out here?
Yeah, they got one in Hempstead.
Oh, okay, okay.
I don't know about
In Brooklyn, I think they all gone.
Yeah, Queens is looking empty out there.
I think Jamaica Avenue still has VIM.
Got VI. They used to be. Yeah, I remember they used to.
I think they still do.
Wasn't it the red, white, and blue sign? Yeah.
I think
Jamaica
they done
Center
moved
stuff.
3 times.
They used to be at Jamaica Center.
Well, they still open.
Okay.
No matter if they move.
Don't they have one in?
Right,
They only have one downtown Brooklyn.
Okay.
Nah, I think Brooklyn the one closed.
Oh, okay. They probably had one up there on Fordham Road, probably.
They did have them in every borough.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't see no more in Brooklyn. They used to be
Yeah,
in
they
I
got
think
one
it was
on Jamaica
Brown.
Avenue.
Oh.
Hempstead, Jackson Heights.
Yeah, Brooklyn.
And that's it?
Oh, the one on Jackson Heights is in
That's the ones I
was on
found.
94th Street.
And one in,
Freeport.
and one in Flatbush. One in
Let's see,
downtown Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Used to be.
Yeah,
I
they got
think.
one in Brooklyn.
Where's that?
Yeah, the one Jackson Heights
Um,
is by Junction Boulevard.
Let me know if you'll see Patrick out there selling them.
He's the worst.
Yeah.
You the worst, yo.
Didn't Shaq have a pair of sneakers too? Shaq had
Indeed,
some.
man. Yo, come
Yeah.
here and buy my sneakers, son.
Yeah, Shaq had a pair.
What you gonna say, yo? I got these Clydes, man. Leave me alone.
It ain't there. Put on the map. Yeah, I was gonna say put on the
I
map.
got these Clydes.
Leave me alone.
Yo, does anybody remember
464 Rockaway Avenue?
Oh, so that is
Rockaway
that is
Avenue?
Brownsville.
That's
Yeah, it's on Rockaway Avenue.
Yeah, okay. What's the name? Does anybody remember I'm going back. The place that used to sell the long shorts, Olaf's.
Where's that at?
It used to be on Madison Avenue. They used to, yeah, by 100 and because I went there and got my team some uniforms.
You got them long shorts like
Them long
like
shorts.
Brandon Jennings was wearing where they was
Right.
almost at his ankle.
Remember when
the super long
right after
shorts.
the Fab Five was
Gaucho.
wearing them?
Yeah.
This guy Olaf
Knickers.
was making them, and they was wearing them at the West 4th Street. They was wearing
they
them.
was wearing them.
Yeah, that's a
and them
super
things
long
was
short.
almost at
So-
his ankle.
So
might as
when
well
you went,
get
so when you went to throw the ball between your legs, it just got in the way. Yeah.
Yeah. It switched.
Yeah,
It was
whole
that
brand was
right.
It switched.
I went and bought my team uniforms down there for. I went and got the tops
Wow.
and the bottoms.
They didn't fire you after that season.
No, they did not. They took them because they liked them.
Shout out to Jeanette
I got the Nick
Holloway-
colors. I got
Holloway
the, I mean,
watching.
North Carolina colors, powder
Oh,
blue.
oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Jordan signature joint. Okay.
Olaf's. Wow.
That's great.
Is the color powder blue or is it light blue? Or because you know,
Well, they say powder blue.
listen,
Right, right.
for us
Sky
men,
blue.
for
Carolina,
Yeah.
Sky blue.
Carolina blue.
Carolina
Okay.
blue.
yo, for us men, it's just regular colors.
Just
For
regular.
women, got 1,000 different colors.
Right, powder blue.
Yeah,
They have
they got
pink.
names for everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pink, all kind of stuff, man.
I never heard cow when we growing up. That was considered sky blue.
Sky blue.
Yeah.
Long shorts.
Mm.
I'm trying to see if I can find that picture. Oh, there it is.
All right.
The long
The
shirt.
kid
Yeah.
Kid at St. Bonaventure.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Right. Yeah, I remember that.
I remember that.
Wow.
Those look like knickers for real.
He go to dribble, the ball gets
Let me see what
Get stuck in
gets
between.
stuck. Yeah,
Let's
stops
see
the
if I can
motion.
find some gaucho
Or
shorts.
Drapes.
Look at Muggsy.
Oh,
Muggsy
wow.
no
Yeah,
better.
yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
all the way like, his
Right.
like yeah.
But those are regular shorts.
Right,
He just
those-
happened
that's
to be
regular
5'3".
size.
Yeah.
Right, that's
He
regular
just happened
size.
to be 5'3". Allen Iverson had him.
Yeah, I know Iverson. Yeah.
Wow. That was the
Yeah.
thing back
Yeah,
then.
that was
boy.
the thing back then.
Right.
Them stupid long shorts. I think
Everybody,
that- wasn't Fab Five?
Fab
the one that
Five,
started
right?
it?
Yeah.
Well, you know they got longer.
But
when
then it got
Jordan
longer.
came.
Yeah.
They got long. They was.
They got longer.
when
Yeah,
Jordan
after
was there, They
that.
got long. Then they
Right.
got longer. Yeah.
Yeah, but it beat that alternative when they used to have the super short
Oh
ones.
man,
Right.
little tighty whities like man.
Larry Bird, Kevin McHale with them damn things over
Yeah,
there.
yeah, Dr. J.
Yeah.
You see your thighs and whatnot.
Yeah.
We was all rocking those in the
Yeah,
70s,
back in the
man.
day, that was the only shorts you had.
So, I
It
remember
wasn't until the
I got my
Fab Five that they
70s
changed
With
it.
your white tube socks with the colors on the top
The
line
top
too.
of it.
Right.
Yep.
all the way to the kneecap. All the way to right
What you
under
say
the
with
knee.
the white what?
With
The white socks with the
white socks
colors.
that
of
come
the,
up,
yeah,
tees
the
that come
two
all
socks all the way
up.
up to your
But they
knee.
had the different colors up top
Yeah.
sometimes. Some of them
Yeah,
had-
blue, red, and
Yeah.
All the
right.
colors.
Right.
That was the thing.
Right under the kneecap.
Either,
That was the thing.
either
All
was
the
wearing
colors.
Converse or Pro
Yeah,
Kids or
right.
whatnot.
Converse and pro kids, pro cons, and cons.
I remember Pro
Yeah,
Converse.
honestly, they didn't have
I
leather.
don't know. There's a
They
game
didn't
on.
have
I don't
leather
know who's
sneakers
playing.
until
The
was it
summer
Magic
league in
or
Vegas
Larry?
starts Thursday.
I think Larry
The leather
Bird
Converse?
yeah,
Yeah.
Larry Bird or Magic.
Well, they was wearing
Those
Converse,
the
right?
leathers,
Yeah.
The leather ones though.
Right.
The
'Cause it
real
was
leather
always-
ones. Those
it
are
was
the
always
real
the
leather.
cloth sneakers.
Yeah, the canvas.
Oh, I
Yeah.
wore the Converse. I mean the Canvas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chuck Taylors.
Pro
Yeah.
Flies.
Want to go right through them.
Remember Pro
I got a
Flies?
pair of those.
Yeah,
I-
yeah.
look, I got a pair of those too.
Get out,
But-
yeah?
But mine's is leather though.
Oh,
Burgundy.
man.
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
that?
yeah.
The Chuck Taylor?
Mhm.
Chuck
They
Taylors,
still
yeah.
sell them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they got you go to the Converse stores, they
Yeah.
got them.
They got the Chuck Taylors.
You wear the canvas blue pro cans or the pro cons, they get wet, then the dye go on your sock. You know what I'm saying? You see the dye
Yeah.
in your sock from
That ain't never happened to me,
Yeah,
man.
when
I don't,
sneakers
know,
new.
I don't know what sneakers you was
Yeah.
wearing. That
Dye
ain't never
on your
happened
sock.
to me.
Yeah, I remember them days.
I remember getting the Pro Cons. Them things was on the table. Yeah, they gonna find
Yeah,
your
yeah,
size.
they find your size, right?
Right, yeah.
Right. They might not be connected.
Yeah.
So you gotta be looking and whatnot.
The
Somebody
Mets-
took one and cut the other one off.
The Mets and Yankees are both idle tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, ain't nobody playing. Not
They-
the Mets, yeah.
Well, they need a break anyway.
Yeah, I know the Mets is home the next. I mean, Yankees are home
Yankees
next
are home.
Yeah.
3-day games. I don't remember who they playing.
who the Mets-
Seattle. And the
Nah.
Mets are playing in Baltimore.
In Baltimore. Didn't Baltimore just swept somebody, man?
Got to be more
Yeah.
careful.
They swept somebody. They just swept Atlanta. They swept Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Y'all wanna
Atlanta's in
23.
Yeah.
y'all wanna shout out
Yeah, it's 620.
shout out Angel Reese and
Oh, she was breaking the other day
Yeah, I
on,
know.
on the WNBA, man.
but she
She said,
Breaking
she said the
about
refs must be fixed because we can't get calls or whatnot.
she made the All-Star game again.
Okay.
Caitlin Clark is captain again.
Yo, they
Well-
said, what's the thing? I'm trying. I want to say it right. That almost 60-something% of her rebounds are on misses.
But I review. I go back at people to say that, but she's grabbing it back. Why
Yeah,
the other
she
people?
is.
But why the other person ain't grabbing?
I mean, no, I'm not done. I'm just going by what they were saying.
She not putting up there to be like, oh, let me grab it again.
Right.
The reason she's missing is because she's not shooting the ball.
Right.
She's doing this.
It's just
That's
throwing
what
it up.
Moses did.
Yeah, exactly.
No, she's just flipping it up.
Yeah.
You know, but she's quick enough to go back to
And
get it.
Get it. Yeah.
So it don't matter.
That's the other thing I read. Somebody was joking and they said, Angel, if you put Angel Reese in a dark closet, she'll end up with 6 points and 10,000 rebounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
But she's able to go get it. I
She
give her
goes
that.
back and go get it. So why aren't they stopping her from getting it?
She's a very good rebounder.
And she's aggressive. That's why she's getting
Yeah,
rebounds.
that's why she's getting double doubles. Yeah.
She's a very
Yeah.
good rebounder. I can't knock her that.
And she's been shooting well from the outside. Her 3-point, she's been practicing it. And
Okay.
some of the games I watch,
That's good.
she be
She
hitting
don't grab
some.
them rebounds when she's shooting them 3-pointers.
No, they be going in. No, really, seriously.
Good, man.
So
You gotta expand your game.
now
You
that you
gotta-
done brought that up, I'm gonna switch back to NBA. So what's up with Bobo, man? He's looking better.
I don't know.
He's,
In the off season, how's he looking back?
I'm saying I'm saying, man, I think Bobo is
He's been on a few teams, man.
I don't know, man.
He's not
I think
aggressive.
He's improving. I think he's
No,
improving.
He's
He's Shaq's favorite player.
he's a capable scorer, but he's not an aggressive type of player. So he's always going to be that, you expect more, but you're not going to get more because of the way he is. He's
I'm
not.
starting to
He's
pay
not.
attention
He's
to
not
him.
an aggressive player.
I'm gonna tell you what he is. He's a black Sean Bradley.
Oh wow!
You think so?
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
same exact
wow.
kind. Except he shoots 3-pointers.
I think he has a little better offense.
Yeah, I think
He
he's better.
shoots
than
the
Sean
3-point. The 3-pointer is better.
Yeah.
But his game, he ain't really improved all that much since he got to the league.
Sean Bradley.
I
is
think he's
very
improved
badly.
since he
I
got
don't know.
in the league. Maybe not like this. What?
Would you put him on your team?
I'm watching him.
He's went from the
I'm
ninth
definitely
guy on the
watching
bench
him
to the
right
eighth
now.
guy on the bench.
Right.
What'd you say?
He went from the ninth guy on the bench to the eighth guy on the bench.
He moved a seat, one seat
So-
over.
So he's right there from starting.
He's
from
Yeah,
getting
no,
in the
he's
game.
like-
No, he got three more.
getting
He
in
got
the
three
game
more
was-
seats to
No,
go, man.
He
I'm
ain't even start on no bad Phoenix
No,
team.
I'm looking at the Tibbs. I'm looking at Tibbs how he started 7 guys. So he played 7 guys. So
So
he's
he-
one
he
guy away
starts
from
7
playing.
guys?
No, he's
No,
two
he's
guys
three,
away.
he's
from
3
playing.
seats away.
Yeah,
No,
he's
3
two or
seats
three
away from
seats.
starting. 1
Shut
seat
up.
away from
That
actually
may not
playing.
never come and say that.
All right. All right, y'all. So all right, so we winding down here. So all right. All right, y'all. Everybody, the summer is among us. We have some events we need to do. You know, Farmers Day
Summer's
coming up
fun.
at the end
Summer's
of
flying
August. Yeah, time waits for no one. So we
Right.
gotta embrace it, enjoy it, live life to the fullest. Get out there and enjoy it.
Pre-season a month
Do your
away.
thing. We got time for you, bro. We got.
Pre-season a
We're
month
gonna
away.
put you in occupational therapy
Pre-season,
when
you
your
talking about
team
summer
fall
league?
apart.
Football.
You talk
Football.
occupational therapy for the relic.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring some talent on it for you for your quarterback.
Occupational.
We already seen it.
Pre-season a month
We already know
away,
what's coming.
kid.
Us Jet fans
go.
already. Yo, I got a question for you, Jet fan, before us. I know it's almost time to wrap it up. Would you take? Let's say it don't work out for Fields. Would you take Tua? Jet fans only. Would you take
Oh,
Tua?
you talking about that.
Would you take Tua?
No.
Over Justin Fields.
If Justin Fields doesn't work out,
If it Justin Fields doesn't work out, because I think the Dolphins, if it don't work
Shout
out,
out to Sidney Peacock.
if it don't work out for Tua in Miami, I think they're gonna look to move him.
You know what? Tua, and I'm gonna compare again. He's Chad Pennington as far as I was saying.
Really?
Yeah, his arm ain't that. He's
Chad
accurate.
Pennington could throw the.
He was accurate.
He was accurate, but he didn't have no zip on.
Yeah,
it.
he threw maybe 50 yards, right? That's probably his limit.
If he could throw it that far.
Right, if he
and
could
that's
throw
the
that
same
far.
thing with Tua.
And that's because his
I don't
arm
think
was
Tua's
messed up.
got that kind of arm either. He's accurate as hell, but he's not the kind of guy that's gonna scare nobody. I'm not a Tua fan.
Okay, one more
And
question.
he's too little for me.
right.
He's
Would you-
just
what's
like-
the guy? What's the quarterback on Jacksonville? Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor
Would you take
Lawrence?
Trevor Lawrence?
I would.
I would.
It looked like he get beat up a lot. He took a lot of
The team
punishment.
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, he's on a bad team.
He's on a real.
I mean, he's had good years and bad years. I mean, I guess if he was on the right team with the proper protection, he probably would be pretty good.
All right.
He could be just as good as Justin Herbert.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe it too.
We're about done. So all right, let's wrap it up. Greg, start with you, sir.
Great show. Thanks for everyone for listening. Have a good evening, a good week.
The relic,
Great show, y'all. Summer League starting soon.
Sports Star.
Bo averaged 6.8 last year, and that was 3 points down from his top average of 9.1 when he was at Orlando. Great improvement, Bo.
I'm watching them.
Yeah, you watching.
Coach.
Go ahead, Coach.
I can't respond to that one.
All right, so
Yeah.
Oh, this guy's watching Bo.
all right, Tiny, thank you. Thank the family, everybody. We'll be back next
Oh,
week.
my God.
Peace and love.
Are we off the radio? We off yet? No,
Yeah,
good. This is the same guy that used to root for Danny Ainge. Remember that, everybody out there listening.
GM of the year.
Danny Ainge and Bo.
The GM of the year.